Takže dámy a pánové, já vás vítám u dnešního oficiálního českého restreamu. Posledního revealu karet z Rise of Shadows. Je tady dneska Dean Ayala, Brian Kibler a Chris Sierra. A já doufám, že dneska nám ukážou ty největší vůně, protože nám ještě chybí hodně karet z Warlocka a Shavana.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final Rise of Shadows card reveal live stream. My name is Chris. I'm a community dude here on the Hearthstone team. You probably already know these guys, but in case you don't, gentlemen, would you mind introducing yourselves?
All right, we starting with me.
We're gonna, you,
All right,
absolutely.
Sure.
You're first.
I'm right here, I'm
Why
just like
not?
the closest. I'm Brian Kibler. I'm a Hearthstone streamer, YouTuber, commentator. I've been playing the game since beta, so yeah, that's me.
That's good. Great intro, Brian.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm Dean. I'm a designer on the Hearthstone team. I've been working on every expansion, since back in the Naxxramas days. So, it's pretty cool that we're about to release a new one. It's always a pretty big, exciting time for us here at Blizzard.
Wow.
Absolutely. So, folks, before we dive into the action, Dean, I was curious to see if you wouldn't mind recapping some of the announcements that we've made for Rise of Shadows, some of the keywords that have come out,
Sure.
maybe even your favorite card that we've seen so far.
Sure. So we're introducing a new keyword. It's Twin Spell. They're cards that you can cast twice. It creates a lot of interesting dynamics, because unlike Echo cards, we can put them on really high cost cards, 8, 7 cost cards, and you have these really great value generators in late game. We have lackeys, which are 1-cost battlecry minions that are generated by a bunch of different random effects. So it's pretty good in decks like rogue decks because you can use them alongside combo effects and things like that. One of the things I'm most excited about is schemes. You have the evil plots that a lot of these these evil leaders have been working on, and they're cards that upgrade in your hand every turn. So the longer you hold them, the cooler they get, right? Those are the ones I'm probably the most excited for. In gameplay, it's kind of interesting to
Teďka akorát dávají dokupy to, co je za keyboardy, určitě ta expanze a tak dále.
It's kind of just a risk-reward kind of thing.
Absolutely. Pros and cons. Ryan, any particular cards that you're super jazzed about for this expansion?
Well, I'm actually just super stoked for rogue in general, both the sort of Burgle, Steel, Thief, Rogue synergy stuff. There's Vendetta, I think, which is the 4-cost spell, deals 4 to a minion.
People love Burgle.
0 if you have a card from outside your class. And also the lackeys, the synergy there with Spirit of the Shark seems super cool.
Yep.
Those are the 2 decks I've probably had the most fun playing recently, even now. Before we rotate and get all these new Rise of Shadow cards are
right.
Shark Rogue and Academic Espionage Thief Rogue, and looks like they're both getting a bunch of cool stuff.
Jo, takže Brian se nejvíc líbí ta Thief Rogue, ne?
So, for today's stream, folks, we have 28 brand new cards to reveal. 28. It's going to be super awesome. We've got 4 matches. We've got our opponent, Chalky, who's waiting for us. He's trying to get the one up on Kibler this time because we know that Korra beat him 3-2 last time. We're not keeping track or anything, but again, 3-2. We've got 8 of the 9 classes that we're going to be showcasing today, and we've got brand new cards in every single deck, not only in Chalky's decks, but in ours. So it's going to be super awesome. We're about to jump into the gameplay here in about 2 minutes. So again, you don't want to miss out. Don't go anywhere. But before we do, a couple quick things that I did want to say. First off, so Rise of Shadows is dropping April 9th. So yes, mark your calendars, April 9th.
9. dubna, přátelé.
Pre-release weekend. I cannot speak today. This is the second stream in a row.
It's good thing you don't have to talk or anything. It's not like it's your job here.
I'm awful with words.
It makes sense.
Flame me, please, because I am awful at words. So anyways, we have pre-release weekend. Now, hey, I can actually speak. Starting April 5th. So if you've never done a pre-release weekend before, it's super cool. You have a chance to hang out with your friends and family. You can open up the packs that you have pre-ordered, and you can build decks with those cards that you open up from those packs. There's also another Tavern Brawl format where you can utilize deck recipes that Dean and his team have put together that you can also check out. So I think, Brian, you've done these before, right?
Yeah, the pre-releases are pretty cool. The format where you can use all the cards you open, no cards barred, I think is the name of it in the client. You get some crazy things where you have because there's no restrictions class-wise or card number-wise. Right. I think for Rostacon's Rumble, I had a deck that had 6 Dragon Roars and Talanji.
Seems
which
good.
is pretty fun.
Oh my gosh.
So
sounds better.
You can do some ridiculous things that you just can't in any other format in Hearthstone.
Right.
And then obviously with the deck recipes, getting a chance to try the new cards before they actually release.
To je dobrý, že Brian mluví o těch receptech, protože ještě pořád nevíme, jak to bude s Vengem, přesně.
And you're doing one this weekend.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be hosting one at a restaurant called The Bellows in San Marcos. So if people are, it's funny. My friend is actually the executive chef of the restaurant, and I met him because he recognized my voice. Because he watched, my
just
video.
there you go. Is that Brian Kibler?
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, we're doing to be a bunch of like Hearthstone themed snacks and stuff, and he's doing giveaways of gift certificates for the restaurant for anyone who opens Chef Nomi. So should be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Very on point.
There's more
very
info on
thematic.
that. You can find it.
Mně se hrozně líbí, jak jako Blizzard hodně tlačí ty pre-releasy. To je super věc, by
Yes,
the
so tune in
way.
that. So I know we have the Santa Ana one here on April 5th. So if you all are there, would love to see you and say hello. Dean, you going to be tuning into that one?
I'll be there, and
gonna
I
be
think
there.
I'm probably going to go to Brian's as well. So I'm going to be, at all kinds of fireside gatherings.
Look at that. Having fun together. It's going to be great.
I think
It's
you can
gonna
find those on the website too. Just in general, if there's one near
Yeah.
you, it's firesidegatherings.com.
That's true.
Yes.
You can search for any event in your area if you aren't don't happen to be in Southern California. Come to the ones we'll be at. So.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yes, you can either start one yourself or, like Brian just said, join one in an area near you.
That's actually a big thing. You can just do this from your house. You can just invite your friends over. This is what I did for the last one for Us Guns Rumble. I just had some people over to my house, did a private fireside gathering, and we were able to just kind of hang out in my living room playing Hearthstone all day. It was great stuff,
Jam
which
against
is
each
a lot
other
of
on the
fun.
same network. And
Yep.
So it's really cool to play like before, a bunch of stuff has been figured out. And there's the
Dneska už je
data
možný
and
si
all
založit
the, on the
totiž
internet
pre-release
everywhere. And you
i
can kind of just like
sám,
figure out for yourself what you
doma,
think is fun and
abyste
what
si
you think is
otevřeli
powerful.
karty 3
Exactly.
dny
Yeah, I know
předem,
Krypton
takže
Toast and a bunch of
taky
others have
řešení
also done
prostě.
that. So super cool pre-release weekend. Tune in. The last thing I did want to say, thank you all so much for the feedback that you gave after the first live stream. We're listening, and we've already made changes to this live stream. Speaking of, it's gameplay time. Let's cut the intro and just get right to it. So we've got our first match. It's going to be Chalky versus Kibler. Kibler's going to be playing. I cannot speak. Good gracious. It's okay. He's going to be playing Priest, and then we've got Chalky playing Rogue. We've got 9 new cards to showcase for this first match.
But I want to play both Priest and Rogue.
Maybe some other time. I promise. We're going to get to it.
All right, fair.
But,
Priest, fine.
So again, Cora 3-2 Chalky last time. Brian, are we going to go 4-0 on Chalky? Is this what we're doing?
I mean,
My
I
body
would
is
build these
ready.
decks. I don't know.
Oh, come on. Confidence, man.
Yes.
Confidence.
Good,
All right.
good.
Well,
I
let's
wonder
cut
what
the
lifetime
chatter.
record is in the
That's a
reveal
good
streams. I'm curious.
question.
I've actually done a bunch of them.
It usually
now.
depends on who the person is on the other side, because either they're trying, make a good game, or they're just trying to crush you. So,
I mean, my goal is just to get to all the new cards and see what they do.
right. Yeah.
Speaking of,
Let's do it.
let's get to it.
Yeah.
Folks, Dean and Brian are going to take it from here. We're going to dive into the gameplay right now. Enjoy.
Tak jdeme se podívat na první zápas Priest versus Draguna teda.
Alright, so we're playing
Mělo by tam být
Priest
9
first,
nových
yeah?
karet v každém z těch
Priest
balíků,
is
jsem to
first, yep.
pochopil
Chalky's
správně,
playing Rogue,
takže
we're playing
super.
Priest.
Cool.
Ještě možná scéna by se nám hodila, skvělý. A jdeme se na to podívat.
Yes, I felt that as
So we're
well.
playing like Overwatch hit scan with this or something.
This would be not good, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Tak, já jsem pak tak přepnu, že by to bylo nutný.
How's your sensitivity
Last
for
one's
Hearthstone?
Forbidden
Do you keep it
Words.
real high,
Like
or do you
literally, I go
low?
like
Something
this
like
and
that.
it like shoots across the screen.
Okay, yeah. I actually tend to like have a space like this on my keyboard that's about this size because my sensitivity is so high that I don't need to move my
Right,
hand
yeah.
well.
I have a little hero.
Ježišmarja.
Of course you do.
Já vidím toho Watchera.
Okay, let's check out what we got here. This is a new one. Potion Vendor.
Potion Vendor. Za 1 manu 1/1. Battle Cry, Village, 2 životy všem friendly
It's like the
charakterům.
fungal enchanter
Yeah,
from...
yeah. Kind of like Fungal Enchanter, but 1 mana, so it's a little bit more
Look at this
flexible in the
combo
text
right
box.
here. North
okay.
Cleric, Wild Pyromancer, Potion. I'm gonna keep...
To je neutrální karta. Za 1
Ancient
manu.
Watcher, I think. Though, if there's an Ancient Watcher in my deck, there's probably an Ancient Watcher in my deck for a reason.
Probably means you're doing things with Ancient
But then
Watcher, I would
don't...
imagine.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep this hand.
Bravo.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good.
We're keeping this entire hand.
There's only 1 new card in it. You could
There
put
is,
them all
but
again.
the combination of these 3
Yeah.
cards draws me more new cards.
Maybe the Ancient Watcher is just a bait, and this is not actually.
It's just an
anything
Ancient Watcher
new.
made it for no reason.
Hopefully that's not true. I think Keaton actually built your decks, so it's
Okay, so
possible.
he's
Tak,
just
tak koukáme,
trolling
že
me.
to vypadá fakt jak starý
Bad
Hearthstone
cards.
tohleto zatím. Turn 1 coin Watcher do Silence by mohlo hrát, kdybych chtěl.
All right, well, what do you think Keaton's doing? We've seen some Rogue stuff so far. Rogue is doing some wacky stuff in the set.
There's the Thief Rogue stuff, supporting like what I think is also, by the way, a cool new direction for the Thief Rogue. There's the Pirate, who you get a card that's from a different class, discover card from a different class, not from your opponent's class.
Yes,
It's,
yeah.
oh my God, playing Thief Rogue against other rogues.
It makes the mirror like much more palatable when
right.
you're
Jo,
getting
jako
stuff
tady
from
Brian
other
zmiňuje ty
Alright,
piráty,
so I
který
think I'm just
discoverují,
gonna go
akorát to je na Wildu, takže si myslím, že to asi úplně fungovat nebude.
And we're gonna wait to set up our Potion Vendor later.
Right.
Because next turn we can play Pyromancer, silence this, Potion Vendor, draw 3 cards. Which seems sweet.
That seems really good, yeah.
Oh my God, this mouse sensitivity is killing me.
Jako teda fakt je pravda, že to kombo s tím Permancem je úplně absurdní.
Don't vendetta me. No Vendetta me, bro.
Vendetta would be quite good.
Do
here.
not. Yeah, thank God.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So,
Oh God.
what's the order?
Takže to je
on this?
Pyro, Coin, Vendor do
Pyro
3
first.
karet teďko.
Enemy silence.
A pak Power Word do Silenceu, do dalších 3 karet.
Boom.
Nebo takhle, no.
Potion vendor.
This is gonna be a lot of cards. You can coin potion.
I know.
That's insane. Yeah.
draw 3.
That's actually insane.
Oh God. Well, one interesting thing about this is almost always when you play something that's going to draw you cards with the cleric, it's another spell.
Yeah.
So it like ends up immediately triggering and with the pyromancer. With this, it's not a creature, or rather, it's not a spell. It's a minion.
Right.
No, už se na to těším na tu metu s tím
attack
zatím.
that guy and then coin.
Yeah.
and
Let's
then
do this. Boom.
No.
Boom.
Coin Circle, další 3 karty.
I guess we probably.
Wait, we do another new card.
Tak, Darren Librarian.
I was like too caught up in how many
2
cards.
trojka,
Right.
Battle Cry, Silenceni, minioni
so this is
jsou
like
okolo
another,
něho.
silence effect
Ty
4.
pič.
Yeah, but it's another
Sure.
silence build around. So I mean, there's a little bit more silence-free stuff going on. A little bit
guess
more than
we're
when
actually
we
gonna do
purify. So there's
this,
a little more
and
stuff
then
going
A
on.
další
draw
3
three and
karty.
draw 3 more.
Right.
Because this will trigger this. Oh, we're just gonna get all the new cards right here.
Ty
Look at
děláte
this.
si ze mě prdel
Oh my God,
prostě,
no, I'm
co
not
to
gonna
je
burn it,
za
I'm
karty
exactly
tohle?
9.
Wow.
Yes!
Planned. How do you know that you only have 9 cards?
What? Because I counted?
Okay, yeah. For me, it's like when the left card
Jako to je
falls
prostě-
beneath the,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
the
absurdní.
board. Yeah.
I do like the fact that you can just mouse over your deck now to see.
Yeah, that's
You don't
actually
have
much-
to count.
it's actually much
All
more
right, so we
useful.
have new cards.
Tak,
New
jdeme
cards.
si
let's
nový
go.
karty. Arcade Watcher, za 3 many, za 3 many 5, 6.
3 cost 5, 6.
Nemůže
Okay.
útočit,
It's pretty good.
pokud
It's a
nemáte spell
little
damage.
like Ancient Watcher.
Yeah.
So you can either
Right, so you could play it in this like style of deck with silence.
Za
effect,
3 mana.
Or obviously if you just have
Pět,
do it
šest.
spell damage as well, right?
Nemůže
Like a
útočit, pokud nemáte spell
Spirit
damage.
Claws type thing.
OK.
Ultra efficient if you have spell damage.
Right.
Although you can't play it and then immediately, get your
Všichni okamžiky karvky Talnose.
Right, and then another one.
Tak, Shaquille, Henchclan Shaquille, za 4 many 4 sedmičky.
Kind of like a giant zombie.
Za
cow.
4 many
Exactly.
4
That's pretty
7.
pretty good to silence. Like, and if you don't silence it, you just have
Dedratl
stuff like,
vyleč protivníka o 5 životů, viděl jsem to správně?
That can turn
He got himself a
damage.
lack. And then there's still another card, another new card.
Yeah.
A ten infiltrátor, za 5 many 2 6, Town, Dedratl, znič
This
náhodního
one's good,
enemy
yeah.
Oh
miniona.
wow, okay. So I actually we were just talking
Holy
about
shit.
Omnizone yesterday. I have so many cards in here. We'll just play this one for now, I think. This is another newish card. Spend all your mana to destroy a minion with that much attack or less. No real reason to use this right now. We
We're
could just, do I have...
Tohle
no,
vypadá
no,
jako fakt dobrý karty
two
zatím
different
teda.
spells.
We're probably thinking Shade Quill or I think Watcher.
Jako ty
and
staty jsou úplně strašně
Power Shield our guy,
strašně
so
velký u těch
doesn't
karet,
die
no.
as easy. It's
Yeah, I
a
think I'm just
1/1.
gonna... Wait, so this is the Watcher guy, right? So and I have a silence effect for... Okay, I actually think I am going to play this guy.
I think Watcher
Yeah,
Power
yeah, this
Shield's
is
probably
better.
pretty
This is
good.
better. Because...
I guess Power Shield would have been better to go first.
Well, I can play another Arcane Watcher and then silence both of them with my my Dollar Librarian over here.
Right.
I like that. I like the theme Dollar Librarian.
Jo, jako Dalaranský
library.
knihovník.
Then
To
Keaton
tak
plays a deck when in playtesting
no.
a lot for Rise of Shadows that he called Shh. That was the name of his deck.
But this card, I want to get back to this.
Yes.
Because I was just looking. There's the 2/2 that makes a 2/2 death rattle of a minion, right?
Right.
I forget the name of that card, but I saw it yesterday.
changed
We
names
talked
so
about it
many
yesterday.
times.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I was saying, it's like, oh well, I don't know. We don't have Twilight's Call anymore. You know, there's a lot of the sort of death rattle reasons you'd play death rattle stuff, like the Priest Quest. These things are rotating out with the expansion. But if there's something like this, 2/6 taunt death rattle, kill your opponent's guy. That's a really good card to just either be able to trigger the death rattle automatically or make a small copy of it to trigger death rattle.
Teďko tady Brian mluví o tom, že sice rotuje spousta Dedratl karet Pristovi pryč, ale tyhle ty dobrý karty by mohly být a jeden z důvodů, proč by se to dalo hrát později. Souhlasím, no. Jakoby ten infiltrátor je třeba fakt strašně dobrý.
Watcher, and then we can silence him, and then this is going to be a pretty good turn for us. Very nice. Yeah, the thing with a lot of
Be quiet, no, jasně.
going back to convincing Infiltrator, like it's nice to be able to just play that card kind of on its own, and there's some synergies and stuff that you can do with it, but you can also just play it as a 5-drop and it kind of functions on its own. So a lot of times.
Jako mi se líbí to, že ty karty jsou silný, ale jsou jakoby unplayable klasicky. Potřebujete speciální build na tohleto.
Just on its own in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, this is, think of a sludge belcher. That was a super powerful time.
Jo, porovnání s belcherem je
often had
dobrý.
like very similar effective health. And your opponent had to attack twice to get through it. But this, like, they attack once, they kill it. It's like, okay, maybe your next guy who's going to attack dies.
This is good against like
any kind of mid-range type deck, any kind of big minion deck. Yeah,
Hlavně to jsou samý kamonky a rareka, co tohleto, ještě když na to tak koukám. Vendetta, to je ta nová karta proti Krogunu.
That we hope is one of the cards that gets the Burger Rogue archetype going. And this one is also, I think, one of the most underrated cards.
Yeah, this card seems extremely powerful.
Yeah, a lot of what I've read online is, I think this one's kind of been flying under the radar, honestly, where in playtesting it's been really, really good. 1-5 just beats a lot of things.
Look at that, too. It's like, okay, well, now he's at 2-5 rush because of the lackey, and obviously giving you multiple lackeys is really powerful. And also, one of the big things with the lackeys and everything in Rogue, the power level of Spirit of the Shark. Spirit of the Shark's a card that hasn't really seen a ton of play in
Tako tady Brian říká, že laky budou strašně dobrý ze Spirit of the Shark, to je ta spirita z Rastakalramu, která vám dává dvojitý battlecrye. Takže třeba když dáte Spiritu a pak dáte toho Miscreanta, tak máte 4 lackeys.
All of which have double effects.
Což je fakt dobrý.
That are all really cheap and combo really well with the Spirit of the Shark. I think is really exciting. All right.
Prostě souhlasím, no.
I'm gonna hit him in the face.
To bude takový skoro úplně nový balík, že budete prostě hrát karty z Rastakánu a z Rise of Shadows, jako to je taky mega zajímavý.
We've got our new cards. We've got Circle and Blade Master we can do. We kind of don't want to heal this guy.
Yeah. Well, I could. No, I can't. I can't Blade Master Circle into Forbidden Words. I could just play.
You can do that. You can
to není battlecry? Tak jsem blbej, sorry, omlouvám se. Tak pak to chápu, ale já jsem teďko myslel, a Brian to tak myslel, ty battlecry z těch lackeys. Že si spustí dvakrát, sorry. Což to je taky jako šílený dobrý, že jo.
Rogue is getting low. A good way to beat Rogue is by hitting them in the face, I've heard, yeah. There's a lot of playtesting games where we do like Rogue versus Hunter.
Jako ta 400 je ale úplně absurdní.
You know why Spirit of the Shark maybe didn't make it, because when you're Rogue, you kind of don't have access.
Jo, ale Spirit dává i komba. No dobrý, tak nebudeme jako řešit Spiritu.
It's hard to get that going.
Yes.
Pak je to ještě o to daleko lepší,
even
že jo.
though like lackeys work pretty well with Spirit of the Shark, I think that like even when that
time.
Yeah, you need some time to be able to do it, but the lackeys kind of accomplish that as well, because a lot of them are kind of temp oriented, like deal some damage or give some guys a rush. So it helps you get to the late games where you can do a lot of these value-oriented plays. So we've got Silence in our hand for our 4-5, or maybe our 4-7.
Jako za 4 mana 4 se to vůbec nechápe, jak to moc playtestingem.
I can even play Librarian between these two. If I wanted to value trade and then Circle, I have that option, then I can follow up with the Infiltrator. Ooh, what's that?
Wagglepick, tak to je Brian Prologu, no. Epická. Za 4 mana 4 dvojka, Dead Rattle, vrať si přátelskou menu do ruky, prostě o 2 míň.
Depending on how your deck is set up.
Yeah, alright, and get to Death Rattle, gain some life. So, I mean, a 4-cost weapon, 4-power weapon is just pretty good straight up.
Yep.
You know, like, it can kill a lot of strong things on curve, can do a lot of damage to the opponent. And, obviously, if you are just ahead of the board with a bunch of guys, like, well, that can kind of suck. But if you have a bunch of Battlecry abilities, say in a Lackey/Spirit of the Shark deck.
Yeah, you definitely want to do this in a value-oriented deck.
New card,
to je zajímavý.
Another new card.
Zajímavý, ale to jako přemýšlím, třeba bych to hrál jako s Leroyem, možná, že se vrátím Leroye. Když si vrátím něco, co má kombo, asi to málo. Takový ten kost je divný na té
silence the Ancient Watcher, and then it's going to summon a silenced Ancient Watcher. Which is much better than a not silenced Ancient.
Počkat, ještě jednou. Za 4 many silence miniona a vyvolej kopii toho miniona?
Well, I'm just gonna max value this way. I wasn't gonna hit him in the face, but
I feel like you're being a little wishy-washy.
I plan on playing the Injured Blade Master and Circle this turn.
So this is just so much value.
Right.
It's kind of hard to pass
and I have lethal on board for next turn anyway.
Okay. I can get behind that.
I just don't know if we've seen all our new cards yet. I don't know if I should be killing him or trying to, draw the rest of my deck.
What do you think of Forbidden Words?
Forbidden Words, I think this card seems very strong. Like my initial instinct was, I don't know, this seems a little, look at this. 6, they're still lethal. 9, 10, 11, ooh, new card!
Soldier of Fortune.
Soldier of Fortune.
Jo, to je zase tak
I'll talk
za
about
4 many
forbidden words in a
4,
second.
za 4, to je
There's a new
obulec.
There's new
card
cards,
here.
so we have to drop
Whenever
everything.
there's
Za
a
4 many
attacks,
5
your opponent
šestka.
has a
Když
5/6
zautočí,
elemental.
dáte protivníkovi coin a je to elementál.
Isn't pretty tough to
To je do arény
use.
karta.
Obviously, in a deck like this, where you can silence it.
Yep.
To je do
it's pretty
arény.
powerful. 5/6 for 4 is very strong.
Ale proč ne?
But it sort of harkens to Hoarding Dragon to me.
Yes.
Which was the
Jako Hoarding
5/6
Dragon, přesně
for
no.
4,
To bylo, Hoarding
which
Drake
it
tak
would
byl
die
za
different
4 many
at
5
2/4.
šestka, která dávala 2 coiny, když
It's
umře.
gonna be pretty similar, except it's better if your opponent's trying to deal with it.
Right.
vychází
Hoarding Dragon
velmi
like
podobně.
wasn't super powerful, but I think with this card, like, there's no circumstance where you play this card and your opponent deals with it, and then you're
And
way
then you're
behind
sad.
as a
Right.
result
That's a big
of it.
problem with Hoarding Dragon.
The only way that this card's gonna make you sad is if like you actually get to do the damage with it, which
Right.
is pretty powerful.
Yeah, okay, all right.
So we have 11, we have 15. We're not quite there.
All right, well, we're gonna cast our Forbidden Words and get done with everything.
Right, yeah, we're just hitting him in the face, and then we're moving on. Oh, we're drawing so many new cards, it's hard to get through the turns.
Oh god! I wanted to heal, and boom!
Yeah, Forbidden Words is one of those cards that
Ta karta taky nedápá tam
similar
vůbec
to something
špatně, no.
like, say, Psychic Scream. It's not necessarily like a build around with a bunch of other cards, but it helps all the other decks work.
Right, and if you like compare it to Shadowed Pain, right?
Yeah.
Shadowed Pain. One of the big problems with Priest and Shadowed Pain, Shadowed Death. Ooh, a new card.
Tarot Defendera.
This one's actually pretty good.
Počkej,
It
cože?
reminds me a little
Má
bit
to
like
plus 2 do útoku, když nemá žádný miniony. A je to za
Sure.
4 many 2 šesta.
So it feels relatively powerful because we
Okay.
think like relatively powerful
Nice.
mid-game taunt
yeah.
creatures. Not exactly what I would have done there, Keith, but
They can
relatively
see.
powerful mid-game taunt creatures are kind of just good for the game. I think sometimes they get too powerful, sometimes there's giggling inventor.
Well, one of the big things comparing that to Tar Creeper, right? Because
Tak
that
to
was
viděli jako
it's a
fakt dobrý
2/6.
karty
That's a
prostě,
4/6
no.
taunt if you don't have any other minions. One of the main uses
Teďko
of
tady
Tar
třeba
Creeper
ještě
is,
porovnávají Shadow
despite it being
Forbidden Ward
defensive
se Shadow
creatures,
Wardama, že to je prostě
protect my
taková
minions.
výplňová
Yes,
karta,
So
která
often
se
we
do
see
toho
people with
Priesta
Tar
hodí.
Creeper, that protects their early game stuff that like, oh god, this Tar Creeper is just shutting down my ability to attack into with my minions.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I think that card looks pretty
Jako ty
sweet.
karty pro Priesta se mi fakt líbí.
Alright, so we're
A
1-0.
možná, že
1-0.
by se...
1-0, yes.
Možná, že by se
Chalky up already.
nemusel
This is
hrát
super good. So let's jump into the collection manager super fast just to
ale
recap
hrál by se
some of the
právě
cards that we
takhle,
saw.
na miniony.
So we saw 7 new ones for the priest deck and
Did we see them
Did
all?
you see them all?
I think there was one that we did not see.
Trvá
we
hodně
didn't see
krát.
it.
I believe there was only one, so let's
Okay,
find
so
out.
we did see the Forbidden Words I was talking about before. One thing I just wanted to say.
Sure.
Comparing Forbidden Words to like existing priest cards like Shadowed Pain, right? This for anything that costs 1 or 2, this is better or at least as good as Shadowed Pain. It's only like a 3 attack minion that you can kill with Shadowed Pain that this is worse against. And then anything bigger, well, you could never kill that with Shadowed Pain anyway.
Yeah.
So this gives you that flexibility. And with Shadow Visions rotating
A
out
Sleeping Souls jsme
with
neviděli
Agoro, you need flexibility in Priest. One of the biggest problems with Priest removal historically has been that, it's pretty inflexible. So you need to be able to access it with stuff like Shadow Visions. And
You
this,
can
I think, is
finally
just,
kill
this is just a great
Twilight
card,
Drakes,
right?
you know?
Yes, I was joking. This is Shadow Word 4, basically.
Yes,
Costs
yes.
4, kills a 4.
There you go.
Okay, so
So I think the only one we may have
did see
missed was
this.
the 4 drop down at the bottom, right above Soldier of Fortune, if memory
No,
serves me
we
correct.
actually got that one.
No,
we
got-
did
we
get
got
it.
the
We got
Yeah.
Shape, though,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I think we made it
everything.
through.
So we
tak
saw-
jsme
we
viděli
saw
teda
all
všechno.
7 of them.
Soula byl ten
Cool.
silence toho friendly miniona a kobie.
This either works really well with just a minion that is obviously something you want to silence specifically, like an Ancient Watcher, but can also just be, I just have a strong minion.
I have a giant minion
Right,
in
it's just
play.
like
I
it's
would
gonna
like
That's
to pop
strašně
in.
agresivní
right,
balík
give me a copy
tohle.
of it. And it can't be something you buff to be giant because it's going to get silenced. And it can also it can take away like a freeze effect on your minion and give you another thing. So this is a pretty interesting card for sure.
Well, and so one of the questions I had, Dean, for you specifically, so like with this, obviously we have this like self-silencing mechanic that this deck is comprised around. Like, what was the intention behind that mechanic being built in?
Sure. Well, I mean, I think just like any other archetype that we introduce, it's like this is something new that people haven't generally been doing lately. And honestly, like this archetype specifically, like maybe this will end up being very powerful. Maybe it'll end up being tier 2 or tier 3. But cards I think like Convincing Infiltrator and cards like Forbidden Words are kind of the tools that Priest needs in order
Jako
to
za
explore
mě
a bunch
ten
of different archetypes.
infiltrátor
Like
je
having
teda
flexible removal
bezpečně
tools and then
bezpečí.
having
A
mid-game
ta
taunt
karta je
creatures that help you get to the
jako
late game and do some
absurdně
value
strong.
or combo stuff that Priest is kind of used to doing.
Right. Yeah, it's super
myslím
cool.
si, že
Like
to je
other
taková
cards like
stable
Ancient Watcher and Arcane
výstavy,
Watcher.
no.
You look at cards initially and you're like, okay, when would I actually ever use this within, you know, one of the decks that I'm actually going to be building? And then this self-silencing mechanic is super cool.
Yeah.
Allows those cards to become viable.
Jo, je tam
and
ještě
then
Lazuli,
obviously use
jasně.
Unsleeping Soul. You get a copy of it. It's also silenced, and then do some damage on face.
The kind of
really
deck
cool.
that this style is weak to is like the deck that's just removing all of your creatures like every single turn, because your silence specs start to become like basically useless when that happens.
Right.
So you know, if you're in a meta and most decks out there aren't playing a ton of removal, like maybe this deck is an option for you. But if every deck is a rogue deck that's backstabbing and eviscerating and, you know, doing a bunch of temple plays, maybe it's not.
Right.
So it's just kind of
Try
like a meta.
backstabbing this guy. Look at it.
It's
There you go.
It's a little more difficult.
His
yeah.
back has quills on it. You can't stab it. Come on.
true.
It's the name Shade Quill.
That's just dangerous.
That's why he's so good against 7 health. Right?
Well, and so I was going to say too, so we didn't see Madame Lazul played within this deck, but how does that synergize with the cards? Like when you guys were building this deck behind the scenes, how does it synergize with the rest of this?
I think basically Madame Lazul is just kind of like a cool card that fits into a lot of the priest fantasy that we've been exploring, you know, just in Hearthstone at large in the past, you know, few years. As a 3-mana 3/2 that essentially just kind of gets you a card and it gets you some information. It's relatively powerful. It's clearly a value-oriented card, so you know, if you're playing in a meta with a bunch of aggressive decks, like maybe this is going to fall out of favor. But just in general, as a 3-mana 3/2 that gets you some information and draws a card, it's pretty good. So I would expect to see it online.
Yeah.
Sweet. Now I will say, I had flashbacks to you almost burning another card. You burned Gul'dan a long time ago. You got to 9. I got nervous watching from the sideline.
I was counting, okay? Like, I have, you know, a history that I'm aware of, too, on these reveal streams.
I feel like there's basically no way you were counting.
Jinak Madame Lazul je v tom balíku kvůli tomu,
From
aby
the side, I
tam
got
byla
nervous
nějaká
because cards were just
kulka.
coming.
Galaxy
To
Green
znamená,
right here.
That's what you do all day.
I've played a lot of Cleric Circle of Healing and all that.
Right.
Explaining
To je
yourself.
akorát
This is why Brian Kibler is the
jak-
pro
jak-
here.
Kibler spal
So he's
Gul'dana,
learned
no,
his lesson.
minulý
It
díl.
did not happen. Well,
Yeah.
we've got another match to get to. We've got
Top of the
Warlock
next
versus
game.
Mage. So we are going to be playing Warlock. The name of that deck is Imps. All of the Imps. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of Imps within this
I
deck.
would guess so, yeah.
Yes.
I didn't name the deck myself, but
Jdem se podívat na
judging by the
Varloka
name,
konečně.
there's probably going to be some imps.
I would hope so.
So this, I'm assuming, will have the scheme, which makes a lot of imps.
Yes.
What is it? It's Reform scheme.
Reform scheme, yep.
Makes an imp for each turn it has been able to upgrade.
Yep. So within this one, so we've got 4 new cards in Warlock, and then 3 for Mage. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, Dean and Brian, we're going to have you guys take it away. Chalky, let's see if you can get the W. If not, Kibler's going to go up 2-0.
Tak, my jsme
Let's jump
Varloka
into the
ještě
gameplay.
neviděli,
So if we're looking
takže...
at this
Let's
feels
go.
like it is a deck that's looking to play a bunch of stuff and probably sacrifice its stuff. That's one of the themes that makes a lot of sense for Warlock with the lackeys and everything, because Warlock already has stuff like Grim Rally and...
Sure. What do you think of Evil Genius?
This card seems very good.
Yeah.
Like very, very good. Here we're gonna mulligan. We'll mulligan this.
The rest of it
Ooh,
looks
sweet.
pretty good.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna keep these.
Tak Genius to je ta karta, která můžete po tradu si z toho vytáhnout 2
Another
lakýs,
imp.
to je strašně dobrý.
Imps was in the name, so I had to keep the imp.
Of course.
It's not
Yeah.
a new card though. We only have 4 new cards in this deck. Oh, an imp.
Yeah, so I think one of the things
Nový
with that
karty.
up over there,
Nový
I
karty.
think it changed its name. What is its name now?
Evil
Oh, no,
Genius.
it's been Evil Genius for quite some time now.
Okay.
Yeah, like the power of this card kind of hinges upon, you know, are there cards that you actually want to sacrifice? I think Witchwood Imp is maybe one of those cards, but you have to have kind of a critical mass of cards that you're okay with sacrificing in order for it to be powerful.
Well, you know, there are obviously the things that you specifically might want to sacrifice, like egg type cards,
Yeah.
As well as just.
Jasně, takže
The
ten
fact
balík je
that this
postavený
gives
tak,
you
aby
lackeys,
dokázali
which
vy
fuel your
vždycky
other
ubytovat
cards that want to
nějakého
sacrifice
miniona
things.
do těla těch
You have a
karet,
lot
no.
of ability to play, sacrifice effects alongside.
Yep, the lackeys themselves.
They like dovetail very nicely in terms of how they
It's a good point, because the lackeys themselves they're 1 mana 1/1 battle cry. So the power a lot of times in the battle cry, and the 1/1 that's left behind is very easily able to be sacrificed.
All right, we're just gonna Evil Genius here. Bounce.
So we need some lackeys.
Get some lackeys. Oh,
Wow.
I didn't buff this. We got some lackeys. So we have Discover a Spell and
Discover a
Discover a Spell. Okay.
Double Discover
Generally more powerful 1-drops than we would give you otherwise. The
Yeah.
lackeys cost 1, but they're
Right.
a little bit more powerful than
Yeah,
that.
they definitely seem pretty sweet. All right, well, this imp is down, so we do have more imps remaining in hand, though. Speaking of imps, doubling imp.
So do we want an analyst?
Speaking of imps,
We could do the
Let's
greedy
start with
thing.
the lackey.
Yeah, the greedy thing is you discover
Yeah,
a
we're
cell
gonna
and play the
definitely
analyst.
go for
I'm
the
not
greedy
sure that it's the right play, but it's
Whoa,
it's
this
the
is
good
a
Tak,
good
play.
card.
Inferno. Zatřimaný
This is probably in our deck.
Erko. Dej všem svým démonům +1 do
Give your demons
útoku
+1 attack, deal 1 damage to
a
all
dej
enemies.
za 1 do všech enemy minionů.
So this is, if you're playing a demon heavy deck, this is, pretty good against other creature decks where you can like help, sort of wipe their board. And it's not totally useless against control decks too, because if you at least
To je
get to
slabší
buff your
defile.
demons +1 attack with it.
Ale o hodně
I feel
slabší
like
defile,
this mage deck,
ale jako ve specifickém balíku proč
this
ne?
is going to be hard to use. We'll take the new card just so we can at least see the animation of the new card, and then we'll play our Void Analyst to get greedy and get you for 2.
Yeah, certainly the world where you're buffing a full board of minions and then killing 7 of their minions is insane.
Look at how
So
many
just- it's
demons
like
I have.
how consistent can you make it?
Yeah, that card seems pretty sweet. I want to see the gold animation. Ooh, Chaki's he's just drawing cards and pinging over there. He's kind of slow.
Traditionally, Warlock doesn't necessarily have access to things like Savage Roar.
Right.
So having a card that is kind of like a wide buff in a class that tends to go wide is generally pretty powerful.
Tak, druhý lucky.
Well, I feel like I
Klasika.
want this Demon Bolt. Going wide, just giving some sort of removal. Maybe he plays a big thing.
Yeah,
We'll take that.
seems pretty reasonable.
And then
Jako ten Demon Bolt je docela i playable, protože on se zlevňuje z každého minut spat na stole.
Blood Imp and try and get both these buffed by this.
A jako,
Seems pretty greedy.
tady jich máte
We're
hodně, tak
against the
proč ne?
mage with a bunch of cards going into 5 mana, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess
I wanna hit
that
him. I wanna
I'm gonna
hit
guess that we're gonna have to fill this board more than once.
Well, I want to at least get the pressure on now. And right now, this obviously is very synergistic. Rather, this is very synergistic with the doubling imps in play too. Getting effectively double buffed because I have 2 of them. But nothing else in play is a demon, right? This is not a demon, right?
No. The building kind of zoo lock is kind of interesting in the world post Keliseth because they've been building decks with Keliseth for a very, very long time now. So going back to the world of okay, well, what 2 drops do I
Mana
play?
rezervoár.
06.
Za 2 many 0,6, která má spell damage +1.
Still
Viděl jsem
wasn't
Still
that
wasn't
good.
good. It's very close to that.
Elemental.
We got it. This is gonna be
Okay,
fun.
nice.
Mana reservoir. That's just gonna stick around.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so
A by the way,
0,
jedna věc,
6
kterou jsem chtěl
elementals
říct,
+1
a
spell.
teďko
You did
Dean
get-
tady
There's a lot
říkal,
of
že je
stats, right? It
aktuálně
doesn't have any
zajímavý
attack,
stavět
but generally that's more
Zoloka.
stats than we would give
Bez
a 2
Kelesa,
drop.
right?
That's a
protože
lot
ten
of
si
help.
Kelesa hrál tak
Yeah.
strašně
And
dlouho,
One
že
of
to
the things
lidi
that's
úplně
important,
zapomněli.
with spell damage, obviously, is you want to be able to maximize it, right?
Yeah, you want it to
sit
stick
for
around, and
multiple
that's what
turns.
it's gonna do.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. It's an interactable sort of board thing that's not itself going to be pushing damage or anything like that.
So 2/4 is gonna line up pretty well. We got our doubling imp down with the buff.
I mean,
so.
we're just gonna play these. I think we're gonna play this to help preserve the rest of my board. I don't really want to play this flame imp.
Yep.
He
That
didn't
seems
get
good.
buffed anyway, so.
Yeah, if he's running spell damage, we already saw a couple AoE cards, so at least we're Warlock,
Blizzard.
so we can always
Also-
draw cards.
It's also worth noting this is an elemental, and
Yeah.
while a lot of the elemental cards from Ungora are now gone, there are some new elemental
Tak
cards.
tady
that
vidíme
we
toho
saw.
ptáka,
There's
to je ten
Scorch,
týpek,
there's
co vám
Augmentation,
discoveruje miniona
this
pro mága.
helps you enable a Scorch. You
Yeah.
potentially can play for 0 with Evocation, and
I think elemental is just kind of a space that is interesting for mage. So I mean, this is the first set of the year, right? So this card's going to be run.
Magic
for 2
Dart
days.
Frog.
Ooh, it's one of my favorite cards.
Oh god.
Jo, a tohle to je Ray of
Frost is
Frost, to je
pretty
ten
sick,
Twin
yeah.
Spell.
So this is one of the interesting things with Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost, specifically with a Sorcerer's Apprentice, is super good because
Yes. And Dart Frog.
it's
Akorát tu
effectively
žábu jsem
zero,
nějak
yeah,
nechci
and then-
přečíst,
and
teda.
you're just keep firing them. Just keeps firing all my
That's a
guys.
combination I've seen a lot in
Oh,
playtesting.
no.
It's you get a Sorcerer's Apprentice, you get a Dart Frog, and then you just kind of have a slew of spells that
Okay.
basically turns into
Takže
a
ta žába je za
Well,
2 many
I
1
feel like
trojka,
it
která
might be-
říká dej za 1 po
Definitely
zakasení
start
spelu.
life tapping, 'cause I don't really have too much going on here.
Takovej malý
I can't even kill
Flamebaker.
this Dart Frog. Or
Jo,
just-
akorát to je jenom do miniona.
Yeah,
Jo.
and I mean you could
Yeah, I mean,
flame
we
Imp,
could
Analyst,
Inferno.
Inferno.
Right. Well, it seems pretty bad.
Doesn't seem great. The Analyst isn't buffing a whole lot. and
feel
That's
like
To
I'd
se
rather
mi
kill
líbí.
this
To je
and
na
life
schvál
tap here.
slabší,
Yeah, we're gonna life tap.
aby
We're
to
gonna start
nebylo
life tap.
moc
This is-
OP.
Okay.
Yeah, that Just do not underestimate
circle.
the power of the dark frog or the dart frog.
Yeah, this guy seems.
There's so many times where I've left the dart
circle
frog
here.
up.
It's like, oh god, this thing's. Just
Yeah,
like,
the dart
eat me.
frog is, his tongue is out.
He's also a beast. There's a lot of randomly, like, mage-oriented beast cards right now.
Yes,
I think APX Void has his Safari mage.
Yes,
It has like
yeah.
the
Safari mage.
Untamed Beastmaster.
I think, yeah, it was
you get this
when
guy
you draw
Untamed Beastmaster. Oh my god.
It's huge, right?
He's just the frog that will never die. Okay.
I really like Dart Frog. It's one of my
I'm
favorite
gonna
cards.
play
in
this
the
Phoenix
set.
Circle, even though it lines up pretty terribly against the Dart Frog.
The Dart
but
Frog is really very happy.
I think the
that
rest
you're
of
gonna
my
play that.
turn sucks.
He only has 2 cards in hand, so maybe maybe there's nothing. Maybe he doesn't have spells in his mage deck. Maybe it's just all mana reservoirs.
Like my other plays also just suck. So. I really hope the rest of his hand isn't Dart Frogs.
Tak.
Okay, another Raven. He played
Další
Raven last
pták.
turn too. So this guy, people haven't seen it, is battle cry, discover a mage minion. And one thing I think is cool about this, there's a lot of actually like fairly like situationally really powerful.
Magic Carpet a za 3...
Situationally very powerful mage minions, like
Dobře,
like a Hexler Malacraft in a game where you're like low on resources.
Jsem fakt nestihl.
But back to the Magic Carpet.
Za 3 many 1/6 a potom se zahraješ jednomanovýho miniona, dej mu +1 do útoku a
Very
dáš.
flavorful. You got it right away.
I get
Initial
it.
design will be very happy.
So,
Jakože si na něj setne ten imp a poletí a bude mít rush. OK.
Come on, fly.
Dobře. Fly. Fly, Poli.
Well, that's
But we can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're gonna Inferno. Boom. With this. Carpet.
So this is
Flame
good.
Imp flies into this,
this is just
and kill both the other guys. Alright. And we still have the Magic Carpet to
Ježiš,
play.
pane,
So
jestli
we
se
can
to
draw
bude
some
hrát
more.
s volkou, tak to bude fakt zázrak.
Imagine we're gonna have
But we have
some
a
more.
5/2 Flame Imp too. So we're hoping he doesn't just like have. I guess if he has one big thing that doesn't give him a bunch of extra resources, we can Demon Bolt it. But
Yeah, I imagine, he's playing Dart Frog and Sorcerer's Apprentice,
Probably a
so
bunch of cheap
this mage
spells.
deck is probably a bunch of cheap spells, yeah. There's some
and
value
there's just like
generators.
Mana Cyclone, which is one of the new mage spells.
Yeah,
or
Mana
mage
Cyclone
cards
is
that
one of
really
the
wants to
more
do the same
powerful
sort of
ones.
thing. Oh, Meteorologist. Okay.
Meteorologist tam?
Don't hit him! Don't hit him! Don't hit him! Oh,
That was not what he was
my
looking
Flame Imp's got his dancing shoes on. He is ready.
Not what he was looking for at
No,
all.
not at all.
Yeah, so we have tap and our opponent doesn't, which is going to be good for us here.
All right, so I just want to draw more things to send in a Magic Carpet ride.
Henchclan Hack, to je ta nová typka, co
This is
vyvolává
a
ty
wish
dva
card.
amalgámy.
Yes. But so this, gives you a 3/3 and 2 1/1s with all minion types amalgams, which is obviously very interesting with my things that affect demons.
Yep.
Doesn't get affected by my Magic Carpet because they aren't played. They are summoned by this. So we'll start with Life Tap. Demon Fire.
Would be
Demon
affected by
Fire.
something like Demon Fire if you
true.
needed to do that.
Well, I think here I'm gonna go. Boop. Let's see.
Jasně, on to tam hraje, protože ty amalgámy jsou i démoni.
They look kind of fun.
They look a lot like the 3/4, the other amalgam.
That's not playable.
I think I just
You
wanna
have
kill this
made
guy.
an unwise
Put that
decision.
19. I could just trade here. Could also like bump this in Demon Fire so I can keep this alive, but he'll just get pained to death.
Dudlíku, díky, já vám potom přečtu
I would guess it's probably right.
všechny
Yeah.
alerty
Attack.
po streamu, děkuju.
Play the 2/2, put the pressure on.
Okay.
And then we have good removal over
Look at
here.
that art for Henchclan Hag. This is pretty creepy to me.
I mean, these guys. It's like a Murloc that looks like an 8.
This amalgam.
No.
Elemental.
There is an Antonitis. Okay.
Terra to spellum.
Magic Trick.
Magic Trick, to je ten spell, který discoveruje levný spell pro mága.
That was one thing when we were talking about Magic Trick. It's really good with things that want you to cast multiple spells in a turn, whether it's Antonitis, whether it's Mana Cyclone, whether it's the Dart Frog.
Yes.
no!
Those 3 cards are the ones that synergize like the best together. And Antonitis is actually the card that makes the deck tie together because you cast a bunch of low cost spells and you kill a lot of minions, but it's hard to just beat your opponent.
Okay, well he has 2 fireballs, so life tapping gets real scary now.
Yes. I would guess that
Got a plan.
Demon Fire, Demon Bolta,
here
doufáš, no.
is the thing to do.
Yeah. All right. I will attack you for 7. And our farm scheme, it's not upgraded yet. Only 1 imp. All the imps, maybe later.
Not quite what we want yet. So our opponent has 2 fireballs, maybe more.
least 2 fireballs. Oh god. Ray of Frost.
Tak to je ten Twin Spell, který mrazí.
Oh no.
Fireball us.
Fireball and ping. Wow.
Fireball ping. A je to
Chalky
asi
just played
GG.
Freeze Mage over here.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a Frostbolt in hand or something.
Yeah,
So I mean, we actually can't tap.
Well, wah wah. My evil scheme.
These, it wasn't a very good scheme, wasn't it? This is the downside to schemes, right?
Rafam, your plan is terrible.
A lot of schemes aren't very good in you know the top deck scenario. So
Right.
playing them in
Tohle je
decks
úplně
where
přesný.
you're really looking for a top deck.
Fire Eater Fireball.
All right, so Keaton got there.
Ještě nám ukázal calling pro
Conjurer's
jistotu.
calling.
OK.
All right, so Keaton got us. It's 1-1.
All right, all right.
So what did you think of the imp stuff?
I think that the demon stuff, like the imp flame, seemed pretty cool.
Yep.
I think that it's sort of Warlock traditionally has had a lot of like kind of go wide, sacrifice my guys, or go wide, pump my guys type of decks over time. I think that the evil genius, the lackeys stuff with, you know, say for instance Grim Rally and such seemed powerful. It felt like I drew a lot of stuff that went wide, but nothing that really took advantage of that.
Yep.
And I think you know, if I have Grim Rally, if I have you know, maybe other sort of effects that can help take advantage of the fact that I have so many creatures, you know, it would be great. The frog though made sure I didn't have very many creatures for long because just.
I think Keaton might have chose these matchups. So might be where
Yes,
we're
he did. Yes,
He's like,
most
Chris,
definitely
Chris
did.
is talking about how I lost, and I don't like that. I want to.
He's like, oh, I gotta strut my stuff a little bit. He's 1-1 now. So let's jump back into the collection manager as well.
All right, what did we miss?
Jako to je krátký Biller, jenom jako
we
porovnával
definitely
ten
missed one of the
tu
big
strategii,
guys
se mu
down
líbí
at the
to
bottom.
obětovávání těch minionů. Ale to je všechno.
Mad Summoner, Battlecry, fill each player's board with 1/1 imps. It is itself a demon.
Pretty good with Inferno.
Okay.
It's all
Yes.
about, yeah.
You get imps, their imps die.
Což je
Also,
funny.
you know, if you have
Kompletně
anything that
Cože?
benefits off of trading minions, like for instance, say you have the
Prostě
Spirit of the
zaplňte
Bat.
oba dva bordy
Yeah,
1/1
one of the issues
impama.
with something like Spirit of the Bat is, oh, well, if my opponent's playing a control deck, right? They don't have ways for me to get these trades. It's like, okay, well, I'll give you a
Interesting.
bunch of stuff and trade in my small stuff into it. It doesn't necessarily work if you try to take advantage of this guy's like board fill ability because, you know, well, you
Jako
can't
ten
tackle
jumbo
them
imp mě
right away.
Stuff
zajímá.
like Sea Giant's pretty
Yeah,
good too.
yeah, yeah,
If
for
you have,
sure.
you obviously need a minion on board. I've
trade-off first,
definitely seen the version of playtesting where it's like you just play it, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna play these Sea Giants, and then you.
Well, you could like Sea Giant. You could play like this Grim Rally Sea Giant,
Yep.
and then you know like Inferno their guys, and suddenly you have a gigantic board, and they have.
Jako
nothing.
souhlasím, no.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of so this combo is
Summoner
really exciting, but of course,
do
they're like
rally,
super
do
late
Sea
game
Giant
kind
a
of
tak
thing, so
dále
it's just a matter of like
funguje.
where do you
this
find the
guy.
balance.
That's what I say. Speaking of gigantic,
Jumbo Imp, and speaking of
Jumbo
things
Imp.
that benefit off of having your things die, right?
And Imp specifically
Yeah.
goes good with the scheme, goes good with Mad Summoner.
To jsem byl 8/8.
So yeah, I mean, you know, like
A je to démon, který
který
se zlevňuje, když vám umře přátelský démon na stole, když to máte v
okay,
ruce.
can I afford to kill all of those little guys? Because if I do, maybe a giant guy comes down.
Yep,
Right.
that's the idea. You're gonna have stuff like Jumbo Imp, stuff like Sea Giant, and you know obviously Inferno is gonna go a long way into covering.
Takovej
the
koridor
bases and,
creeper
being
novej,
able to
ale
build your board
Yeah.
and you know destroy your opponent.
lehce horší.
now I'd be
teda.
curious too, if you had like your ideal scenario of how would you start with this deck, what would it be? Like what cards would you be like, I want a mulligan to make sure I got these puppies in my hand in order to stack the board and hit face?
So I think with a lot of aggressive decks, you kind of want your one drops. So I mean, just like the old faithful, you know, having Flame Imp, Voidwalker, and I think specifically in this game, we actually had the pretty good combination of like we had Witchwood Imp and we had Evil Genius.
Sadly, my Witchwood Imp trigger went on my Evil Genius instead of keeping my Flame Imp alive too.
That would have been better, but it's not always going to go your
true,
way.
it's true.
But the Evil Genius is going to be one of those cards that if you can trigger it early and then you know get the gas going with you know all of the lackeys themselves, and then maybe you draw another Evil Genius, and then you're able to keep that train going even more.
Right.
That's the space that you want to be. So you want to either have all your old faithful one drops, or you want to kind of figure out how do we take advantage of Evil Genius, which is this really powerful card in the right circumstance.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, one card we did miss on the mage side, so if we could back out real quick and jump into the
Tak si
mage
jdeme na toho
side,
mága.
was
Jinak
Kirin
teda, co
Tor
říkali, tak ten
Tricaster.
vadl.
Oh, this card is very interesting.
So it was the one card that Jockey did not get a chance to play.
Grintor Trickcaster.
3/3.
Za 4 mají 3 trojka. Spell damage
But your spells cost 1 more with the flavor text. The math
What?
checks out.
Spell damage plus 3.
It's
A
one of those
spely
cards
stojí o
that
jedna
as someone
víc.
who works
Aha.
on game balance, when you make a card that costs 4, and then you say spell damage plus 3, that's like, well, that's kind of scary, you know, but I think the fact that your spells cost 1 more, a lot of times what you want to do with high spell damage cards is you want to, you know, play a bunch of cheap stuff. Like, spell damage goes a lot better with a bunch of cheap cards than it does with one expensive card. So when you tack on this text, it kind of makes what you can do. Like,
No, jako
it's still
Pyroblast
cool,
nezahrajete,
but it's
ale...
it's less generally
To je
about taking
strašně dobrý.
30 damage in a turn, which can kind of be frustrating to a lot of Hearthstone players out there. But it is certainly a very interesting card.
And I think that this is specifically combos well with stuff like Shooting Star. Right?
Yeah,
it's like
super
this is a
well.
cheap card that really leverages that extra spell damage.
Yeah.
So like unexpected
Zahrajete
results.
Trickcastra,
Right?
zahrajete
You
za
play
2
this
many
unexpected
Shooting
results,
Stary
and
a
suddenly
dáte za
getting,
4 za
5
4 za
drops.
4.
Right.
And
Třeba.
maybe you have that combined with Khadgar, and you get 4 5-drops.
Yeah. So sometimes you do the thing on the
hustí, jo.
one turn itself, because turning Shooting Star into a 2-mana deal 3 to that's
four.
that's insanely
Four.
powerful.
It's
Deal,
four
sorry,
spell damage threes.
deal 4 to like 3 different enemy minions. Like that's clearly a very, very powerful thing to do.
No to,
And,
že to je rare,
like, if you
teda...
can stick this card,
Čumem.
then that lines up for a whole bunch of crazy
If you just
stuff.
Frostball za 6, to je taky
Sorcerer Apprentice,
hustý.
it's as if you just had a 4-cost minion with spell damage plus 3. You know?
Right.
Kind of go off. Pretty cool.
Sweet.
Cool.
We got more games to play,
We
gentlemen.
do.
All right,
We
let's
do.
jump into
Next
our second
matchup, we got
Jdeme
Druid versus Paladin. We got 2 new cards in each deck. So, a little bit on the lighter side, but we still got some new stuff to show.
Jinak,
I was gonna talk a little bit
co
too
říkali,
about
tak
the
prej
last game we card we
nejsilnější
didn't
karta
get to play
podle
was,
textingu v tom
Reform.
Barlockovi je ten
Reform's one of my
Evil
favorite
Genius.
cards in the set.
Oh, yeah.
The
Reform
tech,
is super
yeah.
cool.
the tech
Souhlasím,
itself
teda.
is pretty simple, but it's really, really cool.
I mean, one of my earliest favorite cards in Hearthstone was Elise Starseeker.
Yeah,
right?
which is
And I
the-
also love
the long
that she
version
was
of
that she was the villain, or rather that Reform was the villain, and trying to steal all the artifacts. It's like, oh, he just stole the golden monkey.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
He
new
got
version of
it.
Reform. He's
He
like,
found
haha.
I have it. So, now, I'd be curious too, like, in your guys' opinions, like, Reform, when is the best time to actually play him, right? To get all those legendary minions, is it like, cool, when you're about to be down and out for the count, you play it, hope you get the one legendary that can save you from, imminent death, or is it, no, play it as soon as possible?
I mean, as soon as possible, you get a way more chance to play sweet legendaries. I mean, realistically.
You would think, but I know that there's those use cases. Where
Realistically, I think that you're probably going to want to hold on to Reform until you've used the removal that you have to deal with what your opponent has on board. One of the things I think is really interesting about Reform is he gives you the ability to play, much like Elise back in the day, like a very removal-heavy deck that doesn't necessarily have like, a lot of expensive win conditions.
pak řeknu, o čem se baví.
We have seen for a long time now with the hero cards, right? That they often kind of played a similar role. You didn't necessarily have to have tons of ways to win. You just had your hero card that could largely carry you. And this is going to do a similar sort of thing, which is, well, this is kind of your one card win condition, but it happens so differently each time because you get a bunch of different legendaries each time.
Absolutely.
And maybe you get Millhouse and you're like, uh-oh, can I play Millhouse here? I don't know.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's understated when it's like, well, when do I play Reform? Sometimes you play
Vysvětlím,
Reform when you need a 7
podobně jako
mana
minule,
7/8
oni se zase
font.
baví Reform versus
Fine,
Elite
right?
Starseeker. Starseeker? Myslím, že to byl Starseeker, že porovnávají jakoby zlatou opici nebo zlatýho kobolda versus prostě efekt Rafama, kde ho zahrát a tak dále. Vlastně nic jakoby novýho, co jsme neviděli.
You're not really in a dire position anymore because you're zoo with no cards, but you're now a deck that's filled with a bunch of legendaries. So it has a bunch of different
Chad, I
aspects.
got your back. I hit play.
He play. Exactly. We're diving into the game, but we said we're going to get to it faster again. So we're going to dive into this next game again. Druid versus Paladin. We got 2 cards in each deck to showcase. So Brian, Dean, continue to take it away. Let's see if we can get that 2-1 on Shockey.
All right, I'm going to keep these.
I really like Mountain Cellar. Mountain Cellar is a card that we mulliganed, but there's a lot of Druid
Yeah,
there's a bunch of Druid decks that just happen to have, it's like, hey, you have Innervate, and here's a whole bunch of really
Tak
low
Staladris, to je ten, který vám dává ty kopie choose one karty po zahrání.
I may just coin them out.
Disparate Measures, to je ten náhodný palaginský secret.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Tak.
Boom.
Hopefully, there's not really ways for Paladin to deal.
Right, that's why I want to play this guy right away.
Yeah.
No.
This would be like Noble Sacrifice. It could also not be Noble Sacrifice.
I actually wonder, is there a way to deal with this if you're Paladin? There's got to be, right?
Myslím, že není teda.
Well, that's not it. So we're gonna get that. We're gonna get the cast our
Secret
card.
Paladin. Okay. Well, I
No a
have
když teďko
multiple
zahraje Power the
chooses.
Wild,
I think I want to wrath this.
anebo vrát, tak to je jedno.
Pretty good.
So we're gonna wrath.
Solární
I like,
vrát.
by the way, how because of this we now have different art.
Yeah, we have the art. The art's really, really
Jo,
cool.
takže oni
Solar
dodělali
Wrath,
artworky k těm starým
Solar
kartám
Wrath,
kvůli této kartě.
Which will give. Oh. Never surrender. Oh. Really?
Jo, jasně, to je ta karta, která dává +2.
Yeah, that one is a. That one's a bit
A
of a
teďko máte na ruce
tricky
teda
one
dva
sometimes,
vraty, jeden je
especially,
solární a druhý
trigger.
nature.
Can you imagine just playing like you're playing druid and you're playing against the paladin and then you gotta swipe your
Wow,
like a
that's-
board of
oh,
one health
no.
minions? Yeah. That,
Now this, for those who hadn't seen it, this secret right here, Never Surrender, was recently revealed. But whenever your opponent casts a spell, give your minions +2 health. Against any kind of AOE effect, it's super strong.
yeah.
And it was really obnoxious right there. Even. Oh God.
Never Surrender is actually one of the only secrets that can like
So
has the ability to
crucially-
win the game.
No, tohle je ten paladin s tou rysou a s těma kartama okolo.
Was put that in play. Does not trigger the Secret Keeper, so I don't have to worry about this becoming a 3/4 there.
No a teďko
I'm
ty
gonna
karty, co
play
má v ruce, už tam nejsou
Solar
chose
Wrath
one.
on this.
Jsou to prostě normálně karty.
The second Never Surrender.
No!
That's gonna be
It was! Oh my God! Okay, well I guess I'm just trading and hoping that this isn't repetitive.
Yeah, so do you think it's worth flooping in that circumstance? You get 2 mana back, but what do you do with the 2 mana, I guess? I mean,
I could floop and then play,
you could play Nature's Wrath on
I
the
could also-
Redemption, or you can just get the 3/2.
I could also just if I wanted to, I could innervate Power of the Wild, get the 3/2, and then but the problem there, is that I get both spells in my hand from this guy, but if this is Noble Sacrifice or Redemption, then the Secret Keeper lives.
Yeah, what's more important to you, right? It's like, do you want the resources, or do you want...
I want to see these animations.
Tak a Leader of the Pack a Summon a Panther mají taky ta nový AT, koukám.
There's a number of
Jasně.
things that get us here.
That was the other one. That didn't work either. All right, well we're fine. We have a bunch of stuff.
Jako to je hustý na to, že to je vlastně dvoumanová legendárka, tak vám dala třeba 3
Someone
karty.
just
jako
got a ton of
tak.
resources there. Like these cards in the hand, you're
I mean,
totally fine.
right. All of these are fine cards. They're not great cards.
That's
but
why they're in our
I
deck.
effectively
yeah.
drew 4 cards there, with that. So.
What do you think of Dreamwave Guardians? Dreamwave Guardians, I think, is pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, this card I think is really good, especially with AOE buffs like Leader of the Pack. Really good. Ooh, Bronze Herald.
Bronzový Herald,
I
to je
like
ten,
your style.
to je ten drak, který vám dává draky na ruku.
But you're playing...
Ooh, new card.
Oh, new cards, okay.
Sunriver
Let's
War
focus
Mage.
5 more
Za 5 4/4, Battle Cry, když držíš v
Wow,
ruce spell,
okay.
který stojí
Downside
5
is
nebo víc.
We're not.
Dej za 4.
But this card is really good. Like
Yeah.
one of the
Bravo.
really powerful cards from back in olden times.
you
Black
gonna
Rock
say?
Mountain.
No to jak z
was,
Black Rocku, no.
Blackman Corruptor.
Oh, okay,
Blackman
yeah.
Corruptor was
To je
super
přesně
good.
jako
Cool.
Corruptor, ale dává to o
this
1
is,
víc.
a similar card in terms of you get a 5 cost.
Tak to je
That's more than
úplně
one.
absurdní tohle.
It's pretty similar. I mean, like the damage is enough to destroy like most mid-game creatures.
Ty
I was gonna
vole.
say, I thought you were gonna go back to Gormok the Impaler.
Whoa,
which is also
okay.
pretty similar.
Porovnání s
Alright, so what I'm
Gormokem,
gonna do,
Gormok
I'm
byla
gonna
4/4, která dávala za 4, ale na to jste museli mít
Then
celý
I'm gonna
board,
leave this.
takže to bych neporovnával asi úplně.
Attack this. So look at this. Boom. 2/3 lifesteal, 2/3 lifesteal, 4/1.
It's pretty good. Like so you play Dreamwave Guardians in more of like an aggro tempo deck, and a lot of times people will say it's like, well, your health total doesn't really matter that much in those matchups. But I mean, like cards like Candle Shot, I think has basically disproven that. Like the life total that Candle Shot saves you in Hunter is like extremely valuable, right? And I think the same is going to be true for Dreamwave Guardians.
Oh, for sure. And this card, especially with buffs. I mean, not Crystal Druid, but Dreamwave Guardians. It's just extremely strong at giving you.
Oni ho vážně
you're
předělali
gonna
na
dominate
Acorn
Lord.
Bearera?
They can't race.
Takže
you,
to je
right?
žaludodržeč?
Typically, token aggro druid decks have been like the
Acorn
the
Bearer
dominant
to je jako
strategy.
žaludodržič, nebo žaludo...
Play Acorn Bearer.
No,
And then what are we thinking? Are you thinking about playing?
jak to jako přeložit do češtiny?
Soul the Force seems pretty good here.
Yeah.
I don't know what the secret's gonna be. It's probably not the third Never Surrender. I guess it could have been.
Yeah, because one of them was off of the.
Desperate Measure.
Perfektní, jo.
This was Noble Sacrifice. That's fine.
I'm gonna
Oni
hit
fakt
back
udělali
to
prostě
30.
kartu pro mě, ty.
Getting back up here.
What's the okay, so you have Summon a Panther in your hand. and then Nature Draft
Žaludonož.
is the one
Žaludonož, to zní dobře,
Deal
no.
one,
Okay.
draw a card.
We're Which is good because we kind of need cards at this point in the game.
We do. We're pretty low. We need, for instance, 5 spells that cost 5 or more.
It's kind of interesting that we have that in the deck.
Gargoyle začíná být dobrá.
I really like, by the way,
cost spells.
The,
tak
we sort of glossed over it. The dragon dude, what was it, Dragon's Herald? The dragon that gave my opponent these.
Yeah, it's like the 3/2 that death rattles and it gives you a couple 4/4 dragons.
Yeah, and I think this is really cool. In part because it's also the dragon speaker that battle cry, give all dragons in your hand +3/+3. I was joking that I'm just like, these just seem like cards that are just made for me because all I want is to hand buff and play dragons, and it is both, which is glorious.
Yeah, I think the card that puts 2 dragons in your hand, it's kind of just fuel for how dragon mechanics work as well, because like, if you're holding a dragon, it's generally like how you get the benefit from those cards. So I think giving you a couple dragons is good.
We could gloop here. And then
no, teďko gloop do swipe, že? A do trade všeho.
Here because it's 2 more mana. But what are we even doing with the mana?
That's a good question. Like we're basically hoping to get something good off of our nature draft.
I'm just gonna do this. I could just trade in this guy and play the other 1/1s.
You could just hero power as well.
Yeah, I think I just want the 1/1s. Boop. I get the 2 1/1s in my hand. I get the 2/2 at play.
Vypadnu z toho verky.
I hope we don't
Skvělý.
get Consecration.
Who plays Consecration in a playtest stream?
To je první velek, který budu asi hrát.
To get his W's.
That would be cute.
He just,
A jinak tady máme nový art na veverky, by the way.
Playing the imp deck, so.
That's true. I mean, it was basically Magic Dart Frog. Magic Dart Frog in itself is like it's basically like, oh, I'm a Flame Strike and I'm also an Arcane Explosion, and it's kind of hard to remove that guy because he's just constantly removing all of your stuff. Is
this a new cute card? Just the squirrel off of the acorn.
Squirrel's pretty cute.
He actually kind of looks evil.
He looks a bit mischievous.
Yeah. This is a squirrel who he is like really just plotting where he can find every acorn in the world to take.
We have our cute artist and then our mischievous evil artist, and that one was sent to the evil artist. That is Consecration. Why would he do this? I'm
gonna play Consecration to get this token deck.
Cože? Ještě jednou, Suddenly the Spy. Za 2 many 2/3, a když máš secret, tak to má +1/1.
If you control a secret, gain +1/+1. So that's a 2 mana
Do
3/4.
pytle.
Secret works really
Dámy a
well.
pánové, Secret Paladin is viable. Je to tu. Je to za 2 many 3/4 pro Paladina.
This is a 5/8. That's pretty big. I still don't have anything to trigger this.
To je fakt dobrá karta.
Cycle this and see if we can find something to trigger this.
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Maybe we want to be in a
Totem
space
Golem is
where
back, Theo.
we have some spells and we can play Gloop and Mount Seller in the same
A to teda, by the way, to je dobrý i v Mágovi, že jo, pozdějíc. Pokud něco vyjde.
Great.
Aha,
That was
shit.
a good one to get back, assuming he has any secrets left in his deck. So we're in a bit of an awkward position here, Brian, I'm not gonna lie. So we can just hero power his guy, I guess.
I'm just gonna play one of these.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it lines up pretty well versus his guy. We're just gonna kill this thing.
I think we're just gonna attack face. Because I don't want to give him another secret if he has another secret.
That's true.
We'll just see what it, because if it's like auto defense, it's like, that's just bad for me too. We can value trade this, but then,
It's not really that good.
Yeah.
The board's pretty awkward for
I
him.
want my 2 damage. Ooh, okay, so we know one of those.
Dragon Speaker.
Oh, there's the other dragon too. So we know he doesn't have
No, tohle je přesně ono. Dragon Speaker do 6/5 Fairy Drakea. To je to, co jsme řešili minule, že jo?
Finally. But now he has a 6/5 and a 3/5.
It's a bit of a problem. Yeah, so we can kill the thing because maybe it's a gives the minion divine shield when you attack it, which would be pretty bad on the attack.
Jako ta práce s tím boardem a s tím handbuffem je neuvěřitelná u toho Paladina.
This and then attack here. And then play this
we're probably war maging the 3/4 regardless, and then.
That's true. I guess let's play this to start.
I wonder how are we going to get value out of this floops? Do we just play the minion now?
Možná předtím ještě dát ten gloop a zahrát toho Panthera, ale teď už je to asi jedno.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we kind of want to play it with this too. Like we play this into this.
We kind of want minions on board for the floops as well.
That's true.
Jako viděli jsme zatím nějakou playable legendárku, mi přijde, že všechny karty jsou prostě jako maximálně epiky, tyjo. A to je teda hodně málo těch epic ještě. Aha.
It's probably gonna be redemption then.
Okay, so it's gotta be, what is it?
I don't know.
It's not repentance.
It's not repentance.
It's
not
not
redemption.
It's not, is it, does he have a hidden wisdom?
It must be hidden wisdom.
Hidden wisdom.
Mysterious Blade.
Another one.
Ty vás dáte prdel, ne?
He has a 7/7.
That's like a 2-mana.
Za 2 many 2/2 zbraň, a když máte secret, tak je to 3/2 zbraň. Takže to je sekera pro Paladina?
Ooh, yeah. Ow.
So
Oh
we're
my
gonna do something
God.
different than what we're doing now to
I had one more mana, this would actually be great.
Tak tohle už je jako totálně absurdní, prostě. Oni fakt dali Paladinovi úplně všechno. Levnou zbraň, levnýho rychlýho miniona.
Okay, so we're gonna play this. Boop. There's the never surrender.
Never surrender, jasně.
Your god. I'm gonna attack this.
Liška.
we killed the minion, and then our opponent is staring at 16. We have 17.
Yeah, we're
So
not dead,
so
but
we're
he gets to
fine.
draw 2
We're
cards.
fine.
Jo, je zdom,
So
jasně.
that was a way to play this turn.
I mean, I wanted to use this.
Oh yeah, because we're getting some
I'm
beasts.
playing
playing
Druid
Druid
and
with
he's two 2 giant
dragons,
dragons,
one of which is untargetable. So I gotta like go in.
We're just gonna blame it again on.
No, I gotta go in
cheating.
and like do something here that can actually like give me a board that can threaten to kill him. I can't really react to his board. I just don't have any
Ty,
tools.
ta zbraň mi teda přijde. Ta zbraň mi přijde úplnej
Also,
přestřel.
I got an out.
Pamatuju si, že se vydávaly 2 trojky Lancy pro Palagina a bylo to
Yeah.
strašně silný, ale udělat z toho 3/2.
Does Keaton have any?
Tyjo, to je jako...
He's playing Paladin. Paladin's not,
šílený, jo.
generally known for
He
being.
just has a
the-
quality consecration in his hand. That's the deck he built, right? He's like, this is what I'm gonna play against the token.
Jako zase, protože do toho je Divine Fate, takže...
Pyromancer.
It's actually kind of embarrassing for him that he lost the first game to us, given that he built these decks. I think.
No dragon. Phew.
A půjde jako full face, ne?
All right, so we've got 8, 13, 17, 18, 20 damage possible next turn. So he's got to kill some stuff, and using his face doesn't really help.
I got another weapon. Okay, that doesn't cut it.
Mysterious Blade. Okay, so what do we have? We have 7, 10, 12, 13.
Force of Nature. Dobře.
Unless my counting's wrong.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Co vám, že asi úplně jako není, co byste chtěli hrát.
Well, we can nourish.
Yep.
So let's draw 3 cards.
So we can't live
Ooh,
otherwise.
rampant growth or enrich. We will enrich.
I think we're gonna enrich. Yeah. That's not the one. That's
Innervate.
not the one.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Is
Innervate's
can
fine.
you get us? Because we have to kill the 7/9, right?
Yeah, I can hit the 7/9 trade in here. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll swipe here.
Okay. Does it depend on what the secret is? Do we have any idea what the secret is?
No, we have no idea. He just played it, right?
Okay.
This turn.
Má náhodou letal, Kiblar?
Swipe.
Měl ho, že jo?
announce
5,
spell.
9,
That's pretty
11, no to je jedno.
That was a mistake.
Tak nemá letal, no.
So we're gonna innervate the other guy.
All right, so we gotta kill.
Ježiš,
So
ty
first
sovy.
thing first, I'm gonna try and attack this. Didn't work.
Okay.
Okay.
So we just
Now I'm gonna attack.
We just kill it. We just kill both.
Attack this. Oh god!
No?
The sensitivity.
Jako ten
Sensitivity
mage,
now is
začíná,
getting you.
ten
It's like when you
Ventor taky
can't
začíná
grab
být
your
lepší, než jsem si
minions
myslel.
in Hearthstone, that you probably
Čím díl tam
have.
je,
Alright,
tak
we're
tím
alive.
lepší.
We're not dead yet. This has been really good. This exotic mount seller.
Yeah, like I said, Mental is one of my favorite cards because sometimes you find yourself in situations where, like,
Ah.
a lot of times, like you'll end up putting Gadget and Auctioneer in your decks where you just have a bunch of 0 and 1 mana
Yeah.
spells, and this is kind of the same thing with Mount Seller. If you find yourself in a situation where you have like a bunch of 0 and 1 mana spells,
some life
probably a good
steal.
idea.
All right, do I want more cards? We're at 13. We're definitely just gonna trade here.
I think so. In the spirit of the stream, I think we get the cards.
Yeah, we want new cards. You're right.
Enrich a Rampant Growth, jasně, to jsou zase ty
Power
dvě
of the
nový
Wilds,
nemačky.
Blessing of the Ancients.
Ooh, twin spell. Whoa!
Ty krávo.
Give your minions +1/+1 twin
Tohle
spell?
jsem se bál. Pamatujete
Oh,
si Mark of the
wow.
Lotus?
So, for token type card,
Tak
that
tohle je za
that is
3 many.
nuts.
Yeah, it's
Dej
pretty-
všem
pretty
minionům +1/+1.
insane, like,
A tohle je
If you look
twin
at it like
spell.
it's a 6-mana give
Let's
your
start
whole
with this,
board
and
+2
then we'll
+2.
No, ale
It
stojí to
seems
3 many
powerful,
zase,
but the
takže
flexibility is actually
tohleto je reálně
really
balanced.
crazy. And Druid is just looking for ways to buff their
Right.
entire
Oh,
board.
that card is awesome. And,
Yeah.
you know, especially with like this, for instance. You're against any kind of aggressive deck. You know, you play, make your 2 lifesteal minions, and then you just buff them, buff them, buff them.
It's funny looking back at like Mark of the Lotus, at 1 mana that did this trigger 1 time. Mark of the Lotus is probably one of the most powerful cards we've ever made in Hearthstone. So like, there's room to make something that makes something like Blessing the Ancients and still have it be very powerful.
And so much of that too, it's you know, you're getting multiple buffs out of it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like obviously 3 cost give your guys +1/+1. It's like, it's not really exciting, but like that alone can still be good in a lot of situations. And then the fact that you have the opportunity to use it multiple times, you know, you can use that with your Ravencaller dude. What is it? The thing that makes 3-cost beasts. What's the name of that card again?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I'm so bad at the names of Hearthstone cards because they change so often. I always feel like embarrassed.
There's 135 new cards that come out.
in
That's
Hearthstone?
ridiculous.
Like,
Each
I don't know.
expansion
It's
every
changed
couple
so often,
months.
yeah.
It's like, listen, when I played that in playtest, it was called Mukla Color, okay? Like it's just
Right, yeah. The one I remember the most is like Igneous Elemental used to be like a Tauren, like in its temp art.
Okay.
So now when people are like, oh yeah, it's the Elemental, and then they
You're
explain
like,
the
oh,
card,
you
I'm
mean
like,
the Tauren.
the Tauren guy, right? Like,
Okay.
what are you talking about? But anyway, so Blessing the Ancients I think is actually like a piece of that deck that's relatively powerful.
that
It
seems
really
really
hinges
good.
upon like how easy is it to generate a bunch of tokens, and I think like cards like Stelandris that give you, a bunch of like weird resources and give you some access to like Power of the Wild more often, and cards like Acorn Bearer that give you a whole bunch of tokens. There's enough pieces there that Blessing the Ancient actually kind of like pulls that deck together, much like Mark of the
Mně se
Lotus.
to líbí.
kind of
Teďko tady
made
přesně jakoby
Agri
vysvětluju,
Druid
že
like
Marka byla
holds,
moc
like,
silná
that
a že za 3 many je to dle nich
I was
jako
gonna say, so
ideál.
let's dive into the collection manager super fast just so we can go over those 4 cards that we just revealed within that game. Now, I know the original intention of this deck was more of like a token druid style deck. Unfortunately, we didn't really get that until the very end with Blessing of the Ancients and stuff.
I mean, this was
coming
my
later.
exotic mount seller. This was
Right.
the token that made all game. And this, when you
to
first look
takhle
at
se
this, it's
ukázalo.
a 5/8 for 7, and like some of the random 3-cost pieces. It seems like a strange combination of parts, but like the fact that you're getting a 3-drop every spell you play, and there's a lot of good beasts in there too. There's the Emperor Cobra, which we saw there. There's the Jungle Panther, which can be tough for your opponent to remove effectively. You can get King Mukla.
Yeah,
you can get some
King
really
Mukla is
really
like
sick stuff.
the high roll out of it, and maybe the 1/4 tons.
Well, I was curious too. So we saw Token Druid top of the meta, 2 expansions ago, and then it kind of fell off with the Druid nerfs that we put out. So where do we see a deck like this within the meta once Rise of Shadows comes out? Like, do we see Token Druid kind of coming back to being top, or?
I think so. I think cards like Blessing the Ancients really make that deck work a lot better. And there's also like versions where you're playing a bunch of treants, and there's that version of the deck as well.
I mean, this card just seems so good to me.
Yeah.
This card just seems ultra powerful. It's like very, very.
Je to zajímavé, jak
like
některé karty
quietly
vypadají
awesome,
špatný a
because
jsou
it's,
prostě
it's
playable,
giving
jako
you
ty
threats,
Guardiani
the life
přesně,
steals
no.
are very relevant, and alongside any kind of buffs, and especially with things that can multiple buff like Blessing the Ancients, there, it just seems so good against any kind of aggressive strategy. And even just token things against control strategies, like you can't just single target removal them, right? You need to use a weapon swing or a targeted spell, or use your AOE. And you're using your AOE on like a 2-cost thing.
And it's cards like Blessing the Ancients that now make it so you have to kill these 1/2s.
Jako teda by the way, opět nevidím v tom balíku skoro žádný epiky, jako jo.
3/4 next turn, so you kind of just
Prostě
have to deal
ten
with
balík
it.
je fakt levnej,
There's
no.
4 cards in this deck that actually trigger this. That's why I was just sitting in my hand for
Armič
so
to
long.
dá...
That's why when you guys were like, "There's no way he's gonna put Consecrate in his deck," and I was like, I was playing through it last night. He actually has that. And he's probably going to play it right now.
Or giving Keen a lot of crap. He did a really good job putting together these decks. I think a lot of these archetypes are kind of like showing through. Like the Silence Priest deck I actually think is like a pretty good representation of what it's going to look like on live. And I think
it's super unique too.
We're never going to get to the, like in playtesting, we tend to work with like what are the extremes of these decks. So we're like, okay, when we're looking at the absolute extreme of what does it look like when you're using all of these new cards, or what does it look like when you're trying to deal 50 damage to your opponent in 1 turn. Like we're trying to make sure like the crazy outlier stuff is okay, but really like we're never gonna build among the card design team like the absolute best version of the deck that's gonna go on live. You're gonna get millions of players.
Jakoby design, Hearthstone design tým nemá stavět dobrý balíky, oni mají ukazovat strategie. Tohle je balík, který ukazuje strategie, a to je v pořádku.
And then the community at large is going to build, the best version of that over time. And I think whatever that version is actually going to be pretty awesome. Blessing the Ancients is one of those tools that just kind of ties it together.
I love this guy, Keeper Steladris.
Yeah.
It's like super cool in that
super
game.
cool.
You know, you get.
Daleko víc
I like that
zápojem
he
toho
gives you
Paladina.
the sort of incremental value over time that like, you know, you kind of figure out ways to use each of the different parts. You might generally only use like one of the, you know, the modes of a choose one on a regular basis. But it's like, okay, well, you know, now I'm looking to use the other one as well.
Even if you just do it one time, like generating two cards.
Because you're playing these choose one cards as one version anyway. You know, and getting. I mean, this was just Wrath, which is just like, okay, I get to Wrath and draw a card, killing your guy, and then get another card that kills a guy and draws me a card, then another card that kills a guy.
It's just like a ton of resources, right? So it's pretty good.
And not having to just play a ton of card draw, but have the ability to generate those resources is really interesting.
Force Aid, which is the card at the bottom, is also a card that helps this deck a lot. Sometimes when you're playing a token deck, one of the issues that you have is like, okay, my opponent has these 4 removal cards. They drew all of them. They played all of them. There's no way for me to generate a board anymore. So while this card is like, what you really want to be doing is playing all your very efficient, like 1-drops, 2-drops, and filling your board and playing Blessing the Ancients. Sometimes you get to late game where your opponent cleared your stuff a few times, you didn't draw your Blessing the Ancients until late, but then you still have Forest Aid, and Forest Aid's kind of hard to remove. You play it, it fills your board, they have to spend a removal, and then you play it again next turn, and they might not have it, which leaves, you know, stuff like Blessing, stuff like Savage Roar, it leaves you able to cast these cards.
And it's not necessarily, you know, this is like the all-star, like super important. Your deck isn't built to be a force.
A to je přesně důležitý pořád zmiňovat to, že tu máme karty, jako je třeba Savage Roar. Jakmile vám stick na bordu třeba 5 milionů, tak to může být strašně annoying.
I know Chad is probably dying for the last game. They're like,
guys,
guys,
let's play the last game. Sorry, we talk too much, right?
Jde na
So
poslední
interesting
kartu.
to talk about
it's super good stuff. See, that's why I'm here to try and keep
we're
the
about to
structure.
release the expansions.
I
and
know,
stuff that
we're
we
only a
worked
couple
on.
days away.
It's
We're a
really,
couple
really
days
cool.
away. So for the last match, we got Shaman versus Hunter. We got 8 new cards for the final match.
Tak, Shaman
And again,
versus
Kim is up
Hunter.
2-1 right now, so you feel pretty good?
Jaký bude Shaman?
Yeah.
Murloci.
That
So
confident.
my understanding, too, by the way, and I haven't seen. I specifically asked to never see the cards before these reveal streams because I want to be surprised. We're still missing a Shaman Legendary, right? There's still Shaman
That is
Legendary that
correct.
has not been revealed yet. So
That is correct.
I am stoked to see what it is.
What kind of deck would you say this deck is going to be based on?
It's called Hagath's Murlocs.
I don't know. Maybe
So
some
it's either a
Murlocs.
To jsou
Hagath
určitě
deck or a
draci.
Murloc deck.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
I mean,
I don't know, we'll find out.
I played Quest Murloc with Hagatha in it. You know, it's like, okay, I fell behind. Now it's time to reload with Megafin and then get spells.
Hagath's pretty sick.
Ooh.
Takže je to za
We'll
4
dive
many.
into it. Last game.
Gratuluji výhercům.
Oh, there he is, right
There
away.
he is.
A je to
Don't
za
mulligan
4 many
that.
4/4 Scargill. Murloci stojí 1 manu.
4 cost, 4/4 Murloc. Your Murlocs cost 1.
Oh my god.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, I mean,
Solo of the
obviously,
Murloc,
one of
za
the
2 many dej
Murloc
Murloku
decks is,
Dedratl, vyvolá
you
1/1
assemble all these
Murloka.
synergy cards
A Underbelly
and
Angler je
do
za 2 many
things
2
like
trojka.
this other new card over here.
Když
Underbelly
zahraješ
Angler,
Murloka,
maybe
dej
they
si
give
do ruky
you,
náhodného Murloka.
Additional sort of ways to
Shit.
generate these Murlocs, but there's a lot of inefficient Murlocs to combo with. Like, oh, I want to like, you know, Cold Light Seer. I want to, you know, be able to play my Warlord. Being able to play all
To
at
je
one turn,
hustý,
they all cost 1.
to je fakt celá play.
Angler is pretty sick because
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
card seems
as you can imagine, you know, we have Angler,
It's another new card.
and we have
I'll keep
Scargill
it
in play.
because it's new.
Oh yeah, okay.
But, and the timer's going down.
Let's just bring him
It's
into
too
our
many new
hands.
cards. Just
We'll
keep
talk about it later.
Yeah, well, the
yeah.
game's actually progressing. So this is another one. Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Murloc. So obviously one of the big problems with a lot of Murloc decks is, well, they just kill your Murlocs.
Yeah, they wipe your board and you're done.
Yeah.
The cards like Soul of the Forest, for example, and Druid kind of alleviate that, and Soul of the Murloc is kind of the version.
Jo, ještě Hagata v tom balíku
being
je pro
able to
jistotu.
stick around longer, like you know, Soul of the Forest does for Druid.
So Hagath is also awesome, by the way.
Hagath
This
is
like one of my
really
favorite
cool.
cards.
It's kind of confusing on first read, but I think like once you get it, once you're combining the spells, and once you're like getting this crazy minion into your hand, it's just like the fantasy of it is really, really cool.
Alright, so
Jako tohle to vypadá
We kept all these cards.
tak, že oni chtěli
want
už
like a
dávno
1 or 2
udělat
drop
Murločího
probably
would've
Shamana,
mulliganed
the Murloc
this.
stuff.
ale
definitely
čekali na
mulliganed this video.
New
odrotování
stuff, right? So we got to see it.
toho questu.
All right.
Alright, well.
No a teď
So
když já třeba Angler, Coin,
Normally, I
Tide
want to
Color.
say, okay, I have a Tide Collar. I want to play Tide Collar into my Murloc, but this is an ability that lets me.
It's probably more important to get the Murloc.
Yeah, I want more Murlocs. So we're gonna play the Underbelly Angler.
So Angler is just a River Croclix
And
that
coin.
gives you a ton of cards, right?
And play a Tide Collar.
To je pravda, no.
I think Angler is actually fairly powerful. It's one of
Jasně.
those cards that.
Yeah, this card seems really good.
Yeah.
Jako
And
tohleto
it's interesting 'cause
generování je
there's
fakt
lots of
dobrý, no.
Murlocs that they want you to, you know, you usually just sort of snowball a board with Murlocs, right? It's like, okay, I play a Murloc, then I play a Murloc that buffs that Murloc, then I play a Murloc that buffs all those Murlocs. This, you kind of want to play, and it's like, okay, well, this is going to feed the Murloc, sort of chain there.
And imagine you have Scargill in play, and you're just you're just over one customer luck, one customer luck, one customer luck.
I will pretty soon. I'm looking forward to it.
I think, like, honestly, like when you play 2 Murlocs and then you play a War Leader, that game is generally going to end very, very quickly.
Well, we don't want that. We're gonna just play this into. Ooh, bow. You're killing my guy. At least I got a trigger.
He just plays Eaglehorn Bow into our Murloc deck?
Jeez.
Wow. Why would he do that? Okay, so
teďka můžete dát třeba Oracle do té souly,
Hero
že jo?
Power, we can Oracle and Soul the Forest. We probably don't War Leader into his bow.
Ta soula je zajímavá.
Get rid of it someday, right?
It's true. I'm just gonna. This is also interesting because this gives all minions, so it actually gives you a use for your totem in your Murloc deck.
Yep.
Because the Shaman Hero Power in a lot of decks,
to
like,
funguje na
unless I have a
všechno.
Flame Tongue, it's almost doing nothing.
Takže
right?
Flame Tank,
Whereas this,
totemy
it's,
a tak dále,
AoE,
tak
it's like, well, now your
můžou
totems
umít
will then
deadratlo,
do
že
the
volají
totem from
Murloky.
Murlocs.
Seems probably fine just to play the Oracle and Hero Power then.
Yeah. You can kill one of these with a bow.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to want... Actually, it's kind of interesting because both of those are threatening to some degree. You want to kill the Tide Color, though.
Yeah. And Scargill's interesting because you can play it in turn 4, right? But you can also just wait and play it like, okay, I'm going to play this turn 6 and play this into War Leader into Cold Light Seer.
That's one of the things with Scargill. I mean, he's a 4-mana 4/4, which is fine, but I mean, if you roll him out just on turn 4, like, what are you going to do? Like, stick Scargill? Like, it's hard for him to...
Take 4.
Exactly. Whereas,
that's not the best
unlike Mana Reservoir, you know...
Mně se líbí to, že to je prostě karta, která... Jakoby od...
Ooh, rapid fire.
What?
Twin spell, deal 1. Oh, that's really interesting. So
to byla nějaká twin shota, dej za jedna a dej za jedna?
Kind of spell oriented. One of the ones that hold on.
Mutate.
Mutate.
A evolve, but it's a guy.
Yeah.
Once.
It's the baby evolved.
Za 0 many transformně miniona do jednoho, který je o 1 dražší.
Really taken a close look at that art before, but
prostě
now that I see
mutace.
it is admirable.
No, Admirable is a caster?
I see. No, that's Admiral. That's Admiral.
Oh, you're right.
He told me that, yeah.
But no, with Rapid Fire is pretty cool in that, there's the weapon that comes off, the legendary weapon that comes off the legendary Vrisa Windrunner, I think it is, that gives all of your, you spell damage +2 this turn.
It's pretty good.
With that, right, you're like, okay, shoot you.
Basically, like, 1 mana.
To je zbytečná karta? To není zbytečná karta, protože když to bude padat z Hagáty a jak to stojí 0 many, tak to může hnedka použít, to je strašně dobrý právě.
He's kind of a 4/4.
Yeah, but our opponent, we know we have Twin Spell, or Rapid, all right, I'm
I guess
going
that's
to play
true.
the Scargill because nothing else is exciting.
That's okay.
But we have our
Scargill,
backup
yes,
plan of Hagatha late.
Yeah, Hagatha is going to give us all kinds of resources, and we'll be fine.
And then if
what we really want is, like, we want a top deck Angler, and play Angler War Leader into 3 more Murlocs. Wow. That's the plan.
Ooh, that's a secret. Oh yeah. Angler.
It's not an Angler.
Cult Master. Well.
What are we doing with it? If we play Cult Master, it does force him into, like, a weird position of, like, I'm going to kill the...
What do I think this is? What secret is this? Are there new secrets? I don't even know.
So if we just attack, what's the worst case scenario? It's Freezing Trap, I guess?
Freezing, because there's no more wandering, right? Wandering rotated. Yeah, unless there's, like, kill a Murloc that's attacking you.
That would be dirty. Keaton would put that in his deck, but
Right,
if it existed.
Explosive.
Okay, that's not the end of the world. Good that we didn't play the Cult Master.
So now I think I'm just going to Hero Power, War Leader, and Soul the Murloc.
A ten
I
buff,
don't think we
no
should do it because
jasně.
it's not really that fun, but this is one of those circumstances where playing Mutate's not really that bad. We have a 4/2, 4-drop.
Not doing it.
We're not doing it, but we could do it.
We could do it. But no, I'm doing this.
Okay, this is pretty good, actually.
Because I have this Cult Master too, right? So
Yeah, it makes our board pretty resilient. If he kills all the stuff, plays a minion, we trade all the 1/1s in, draw a whole bunch of cards.
To je zajímavý v tom,
Seems
jak
pretty
oni
powerful.
mají přesně rezilientní board proti clearu, takže vy potom můžete s těma jedničkama dát třeba Bloodlust. Jako.
Get your horror for the next turn, and then mutate Hagatha into an 8-drop, and 8 is one of the best.
Yeah, it seems really good. And obviously, zero cost is extremely flexible. You can just play it on anything you want, whenever you want.
Safeguard.
Safeguard.
4/5
Za 6 many, 4/5 taunt a Deadrattle vyvoláš 0/5 save.
With arms.
Prostě vyvoláš save.
Yeah, he's a guard.
Zero 5
he's a
Vault
safe.
Safe je 0/5
This is
prostě.
like, right?
Yeah.
It's less efficient, cost 6.
Počkat,
but it
what
gives
the
you
hell,
10
to
health
je skoro jak
per
Villager?
turn to get through.
Ale je
It's
to
good with
mech.
Ziliax.
Ooh, I can't kill this
A
anymore.
je to o 1 dražší.
Okay,
Alright,
so
No je to Villager, no.
we could draw some cards.
We could, yeah, let's do this. We'll
Ty
call
vole,
Master.
to je dobrý,
Attack
ale...
this.
Tak kurva vychází nějaký špatný karty prostě?
Because that can get us a lot of things. That can
To
give
není
us the
možný
rush
snad,
card.
ne?
That can give us the.
Faceless Lucky, jasně.
We do force him to make some really awkward decisions the next turn by not attacking.
It's true. I'm just gonna play this. And say,
Murloc.
well, no,
tasty
I can,
fit.
if I attack with this, I can play this. Then yeah, no, I want to do that. I can play this because he just gets an 0-5. We are just gonna trade this.
All right, we have some resources. We have Colt Master in play, so
Get another card.
it's okay that we don't.
Jasně, to je do ty 1/1 zase.
Yeah, Vault Safe has been okay in playtesting. It's one of those cards that's like you can like Ziliax is so powerful and goes in so many decks
Sure.
that Ziliax sticks to either end of this,
Right.
which is kind of nice.
Yeah, you get a 3/7 even if
Yeah.
you kill the front half. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, we playtested it at like different stats in like 4 and 5 mana, and ended up feeling like having the later body was just a little bit. It was a little bit less frustrating when like you wasn't playing Ziliax on 5 into like a 3.
Obviously
or
not
something.
even just Ziliax too, but like this being a mech that leaves a mech body for like a war gear or for
To je pravda.
a
Je to mech,
beryllium
který
nullifier.
má
Any of
Dedrta,
the-
že
any of
volá
the big
mecha.
things.
Just eats a ton
Ale
of
to
health.
zase
I mean,
můžete
there's
magnetizovat do
not
nějakého
really
Ziliaxa
a
nebo
lot
něčeho
of other
takového.
cards that can say like you're gonna have to eat through 11 health for 6 mana in order to get to me.
I just hope it's like a top tier competitive card. We just see that like clock face, you know, the safe face. All
It's
the
a
time.
guard that is also safe,
Yeah,
so
I get it.
only naturally
see what you did
the
there.
name had to be
So this looks like our opponent is trying to
set on an explosive.
trap us.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Toxfin. Dej přátelský Murloc Poison.
Whoa. Okay. So this is a Murloc that you can get from the various things. This is the Murloc that discovers Murlocs that rotate. I think that rotate is. I forget what it's called.
Well, now that's based.
3-2.
The version of that now
Jako
is
ty
angry.
vole, to si
There's
děláte
nothing
srandu,
getting
že
it.
dáte Murlocům jako
But
prostě možnost
in
se
many
zbavit
cases,
tauntu.
Murloc's against like a big thing, right? You're like, okay, it's I have all these tiny things. You're like, I play a
To je úplně
giant
absurdní.
safeguard.
Yep.
You're like, okay, well, my little Murloc Raider or Murloc Scout can kill it.
Yeah,
Not that-
Soul Murloc is also one of the targets for that too, right? So you're just getting a whole bunch of 1/1 Murlocs that don't really do much.
Jako to bude dobrá sranda. Priest,
so
Grizzly.
Bloodlust isn't good
Resurrect Grizzlyho, Poison.
So do we eat the explosive,
Konec.
or do you just kind of wait a turn?
Jako,
Okay.
nechci říkat, že se ty karty
We draw
bojím,
some
a nechci říkat, že každá karta je silná, ale
Murloc in play.
zatím to tak jako vypadá, no.
I expect he has stuff to take it. Ooh, oh god.
So there's the Angler. We can play the Angler. We can play some other stuff. So we're back to refill. We don't even have to play, you know.
Oh look, you just killed my board. Here's my board.
Manavim.
Yeah, it's
Here's my hand. It's got a bunch of stuff.
Quest Shaman used to do this,
could've
where you
played
play
this
the
up.
legendary and you get your hand refilled with Murlocs.
Right,
And,
yeah.
And
And
now
this guy's
there's a
this
lot
guy's
of stuff like
awesome.
that, right?
Yeah, and this guy, he's just a 2/3 for 2, right? Like he's just a
Yep.
decent stat minion. He can be buffed by your war
To je
leader,
strašná
seer,
síla tohleto všechno.
all kinds of action.
All right, so now our opponent is going to die to Bloodlust, so he should do something.
Well, we've seen 2 explosive traps already, so unless he has like a secret plan.
It's really it's Unleash. But even Unleash, I mean, you have
see
like
proti
small
Murlocu.
guys
2.
and what,
like
1,
3
2,
health
3
minions in
yeah,
play.
3 of them are higher health. Ooh, 9
9
lives.
lives?
Safeguard.
Wow.
Oh,
sick.
that's kind of funny.
Wait, well, he got the back end.
Right,
so.
but he gets the other
Jo,
one.
on si vrátil zpátky toho Safeguarda a spustili ho Dedrtu. Což je ten 0-5
Now you're gonna have
save.
to eat through a lot of health.
Jasně.
Oh, we can do that.
That's kind of like what we do.
To je teda dobrý ruffle, jako no. Tak Hagáta?
Our generation is
the
like
heck?
mostly gone.
We still have the Toxfin too.
Yeah, Toxin's pretty good.
So if he wants to play I think we probably want to use the Toxfin. We probably
the
use the
other.
Toxfin in the other half.
Right. The other half because it doesn't like kill all of our stuff.
Right. So, we can't actually kill this. We just Hagatha mutate. And this only becomes 3 damage to it. We could just Hagatha mutate and play another guy. I want to play the Hagatha because I want to see. I want to see this.
We want to see what choices we
we're gonna
get.
do this.
What minion are we gonna build?
Okay.
Takže Hagáta vám dá do ruky 5-5 golema, který ho naučíte 2 spely a ty pak zakástí, když ho zahrajete.
I'll target a big bad voodoo.
Dva Discovery
That
to
actually
jsou
seems kind of
celkem.
sick with the Hagatha. We're just gonna do it. And then Stormbringer. Oh my God, we're taking
You're
it.
sick. All right, let's do it.
They don't really work well together, but
That's okay.
Zajímavá synergie těch
Stormbringer
karet.
is a lot of time to
Ale
learn.
to je jedno.
take this and see what we get. Ooh.
A Dr. Morgan.
Jo, doktorka Morgan, já si říkám, to bude playable.
Yeah.
We're looking pretty good, I
Oh my
think.
God, we're gonna Stormbringer. It's gonna be glorious. We can even play Henchclan Hag into Stormbringer and get a full board.
It's pretty sick.
Sadly, we are, the fact that we mutated doesn't really matter too much, but I wanted to see if we got something sweet to let us punch damage. And yeah, the big bad voodoo is gonna, not work because it's gonna Stormbringer away.
That's true.
But I don't care. We're casting Stormbringer.
Yeah, Stormbringer is the one that
That's
we
just
want.
like, that's just what we want to do.
You want
Casting Stormbringer is basically just what I want to do in life.
Stormbringer is pretty sick. If you're the token deck and you're casting Stormbringer, you're doing
Save the safe with a
God,
safe.
he's got so many.
safes.
Oh no, and a spring paw.
They're so
Okay.
Ruining my plan.
Safe into safe into safe.
Oh man.
I mean, you can still attack into the thing, right?
Teď možná teda Henchclan
I guess no, you can't, 'cause
Hagu
this
a
one's
pak
gonna-
Rastvora.
Right. Okay.
So you lose one minion, but
Yeah, because it's gonna give me a new minion. No, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's Stormbringer. Oh yes.
that was actually pretty sick.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, we're gonna kill this guy before we Stormbringer. Let's kill this guy, and then we're gonna play this to get 4 guys or 3 guys,
Yeah. That's fine.
and then we're gonna do this.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's Stormbringer anyway, dude.
Big bad voodoo, and then we're gonna
Boom.
Stormbringer, and we're gonna get a bunch of Night Paggle.
Ježiši
Ano.
Kriste, to je
So
Kalikos?
we have-
First spell is free. I can blow this for free.
do it. No.
Oh, and we
Kalik-
got a
We
Scarlet.
got
Počkej, to snad není možný, ne?
When
Teď.
we-
Nice. We have
Yeah,
tack.
Úplně všechny legendárky z
play
nových
every
expanze.
Murloc as much as we want for 1.
Wow.
Like we can
pretty
just
sick.
fill our board with war leaders.
No jasně, protože
If
oni rotují
you
už
lose
špatný
all
legendárky
our
pryč,
needs
jo.
except for our Scargill and our Glinda, then we still have to
You know what to
to
do,
get-
Chuck. You know what to
insane.
do. Just leave these 2 up, and we just go war leader, war leader, war leader, war leader.
What did you think of tack? I think tack's kind of interesting. So,
This card?
Yeah.
Oh, I am really.
Jo, on
looking
může
forward
zahrát
to,
6
prepping
warleaderů, no.
academic espionage after playing this guy.
Or the scheme. The scheme's like
Scheme, sure, with
made.
Pogo
By the way,
Hopper.
toto jsou prosím vás murloci,
Yeah.
jo.
Tack's really cool. It's one of the decks that I've been really wanting to build. One that I'm not sure is going to be like the most competitive thing ever,
Yeah.
but also is like going to be super fun.
I mean, I'm super stoked to play like espionage steel type.
I'm
run
always
with-
psyched to build those decks.
Yeah,
It's super
but
fun,
like
yeah.
the fact that you actually have what's the 2/3 that gets +1/+1 in rush.
Mark Chota, to je ten nový
I was going to
handspell.
say Underbelly Angler. I think it's something fence. Underbelly fence?
Okay, that sounds accurate. Oh, you killed it. Scargill's dead. Ooh, and
No,
there
so
it
the
is.
X veliký.
Zodiac's on the safe. Alright, so we have a
Oh
lot
my
of...
god.
Tady vidíte, že Mech Hunter je Safecraft.
So I can just play 4.
Dobrý,
You
už
could
nebudu
play
nikdy
Play
říkat
3
vtipy
war
radši.
leaders.
You could play a bunch of...
Go to this guy.
You could play
Wait, hold on.
Hogsteed Bloodlust?
Aha. Až.
We can play
Or do you play Hogsteed
Taky pravda, no.
Alright, we're doing
Bloodlust? Wow, sick.
Hogsteed.
I don't know what this is going to lead
Neither
us
do I,
with,
but this is what I want to do.
So,
Bloodlust. Okay.
whatever the lowest attack
krása,
one
ten
is.
port.
These guys are rushed, so we want to use them.
Yeah, these guys have to attack into this. These guys are gonna die and give me guys regardless.
Yeah, you just healed your opponent there, dear. Try. For some reason, he wasn't expecting, even though I knew that was what's going to happen.
And then I'm just gonna attack you.
Okay.
And we just still have all these Murlocs. We don't have enough space for all of the war leaders we could play. I still have. Look at this board.
It's pretty nice. What do you think of that Murloc art? That's pretty good, right?
He's just like the googly-eyed Murloc.
He's very.
Vypadá
He's
zajímavě,
playing
no.
Squire. Why did he hit? Oh, because he's.
Tak 9 lives, to je zase teda ten safe.
Playing Hogseed. Okay, I was like, what?
Jasně.
He's writing
Oh my god,
backwards.
he just has so many.
Why does
Safe
he have
into
so
safe.
many vault saves? I think we're okay though. This has got to be it, right? we have
Well-
to eat through so much life.
I mean, we can get
So-
this guy.
We have the Toxfin, and these are Murlocs, yeah.
But we also we can play war leaders too. So we can play this. Play this war leader. We trade this one in.
Okay,
Play
and then
another war leader.
we probably play the.
No, because it's just these two each kill these. 'Cause we
Oh,
have two
yeah,
war
yeah,
leaders.
You're right.
Yeah.
Jo, takhle to tam toho dělá hodně, no.
Now we
Get lethal with a dragon.
Very nice.
Boom!
Cool, we did it.
Wow,
3-1.
yeah.
Keaton built all the decks.
Yeah.
Good job. All right, cool. So the last deck we had for Shaman was the Murloc Shaman stuff. What I really like Underbelly Angler. That's one of the
Murloci
drivers to that
hrajou
deck. And Scargill is like
Shaman.
he's kind of like a combo card. I think he works really well with the Angler, and also it's like if you generate a bunch of resources in your hand, there's a bunch of like weird stuff that you can do. And of course, like you can try to stick him on 4, and then a bunch of crazy stuff will happen. So. And Sledge Slurper is also just, I think, like one of the most powerful cards in the set.
Right, I think this is a card that just goes into like most Shaman decks, probably.
Yeah,
because
I think so.
One of the big problems Shaman has historically had is it has a fairly weak early game. And this gives you a one cost minion.
S tím bych teda nesouhlasil, že Shaman má
also gives you another one cost minion. You can play, powerful one cost minion you can play on your overloaded turn on turn 2.
Yeah.
Which is just really, really powerful.
It works pretty well. I think like when we're talking about like, what are the cards that we want to be powerful, it's like, well, Sledge Slurper, like it works with any overload stuff that we do in the future. It's using some of the new mechanics like lackeys that we think are really interesting and cool. And it's also a Murloc that works with the set. So when we're talking about like what are the cards that we want to make powerful, that was really one of the ones that we wanted to target.
And Angler is the sort of card that I love because it's a card that's powerful that like generates additional resources, but it also just like does it in a way that makes the games play out different from one another.
Yeah.
You play this and it's like, ooh, this game I got, a bunch
Jediný
of
epiky, co v tom balíku jsou z Classic setu. A pak tam jsou 2 legendárky.
How does that change?
In the same way like Discover works, and like when you have stuff that makes the game feel different,
and specifically really cool. Murloc decks suffer from getting low on resources. Like you have a bunch of small minions in your deck. It's like, it's one of the reasons the Murloc quest was like, it was a powerful effect, though giving up your turn 1 as a Murloc deck was always really tough with the quest. This gives you the resource generation that a Murloc deck wants to help you reload and keep pressuring on that board without having to make that sacrifice of, I can't even put Tidecaller in my deck.
Yep.
So I will say, there was one hunter card we did not reveal.
Okay,
now before we
let's
jump into that, I was curious, is this the return of the Murlocs?
Yeah, I mean, of course it is, right? Toxfin, having Underbelly, Angler,
buff
Scargill.
decks.
Yeah.
These are sick.
Now,
Soul of the Murloc is one of the ones that kind of ties it together as well.
For sure.
Right. Now, I mean, let's get to the real meaty question. Who is the cutest Murloc that has ever existed in that person? Is it Tiny Finn? Hedge-Clan Squire's pretty.
Hedge-Clan Squire's pretty
good.
Tiny Finn's the cutest.
Yeah, the Hedge-Clan Squire. Yeah, it just doesn't.
Co čete, jaký Murloc je nejhezčí?
Okay, so Tiny Finn all day.
Let's be real.
I mean, yeah, he does have the big sort of googly eyes. He's like falling off that little boar.
Yeah,
I guess it's like, who knows how big the boar is because the Murloc's really small.
He's not riding it in the way that I would ride a hog if I was, a hog steed rider, but.
What would that look? Anyways, let's move along. We've got
it's backwards.
One more hunter card to show that we did not get to. Ursatron. So if we could we jump to hunter real fast and showcase that?
Okay.
Because I'm sure Chad is like, guys, you said 8.
Show me the card.
7.
Ursatron. Not to be.
Ursatron. Za 3 many 3/3 mech, jde Deadpool, lízní se mecha z balíku.
Draw mech from your deck is a 3/3 for 3. Okay. Huh. Interesting. So, one of the things that Hunter has historically also suffered from is resource generation, right? We have Rexar, which obviously did a lot of heavy lifting in that.
Nevychází špatný karty prostě.
And the last set introduced Master's Call.
Já jsem říkal, tohle to je sračka, není to sračka, tohle to je fakt playable zase.
You want to have something like this.
The fuck?
Seems pretty powerful. And there's Fireworks, what is it, Fireworks something?
Tohle je fakt dobrý, ale.
Fireworks Tech. Fireworks Dude.
Thank you, Dean.
Fireworks
Dude.
He just sets up the fireworks by the mechanical bear, and it's just like, hey,
boom.
Here's another bear.
Yeah, 3-mana 3/3 is just kind of good on its own. And
Yeah.
if you're making the sacrifice of putting mechs in your deck, because that's not normally something that you would do in decks that are really powerful right now. Like Midrange Hunter was around last expansion. It's not losing a ton of resources. It's losing some stuff, but I imagine it's still going to be around. So I mean, you get to play cards like Ursatron if you're not playing like the decks that are already like pretty powerful, which are like the all beast Master's Call decks.
Jako tady bohatě stačí v tomhletom balíku, že tam hrajete 2 Ursatrony a Zeliaxe. A vy se najdete z Ursatrona na Ursatrona a z Ursatrona se najdete Zeliaxe.
I'm starting to think the thing that you want in 9 lives is just vault safe, because that was just like
Nepotřebujete hrát moc
we had to kill like 3 heroes worth of health.
Good thing we had infinite war leaders.
That's true. Giving the Stormbringer
Gotta love the Stormbringer.
Sick. Yeah, Stormbringer was pretty sick off that Hagaba.
Well, you 3-1 Chalky. How do you feel?
Disappointed in 4-0.
That's true.
Wow.
You did say that you were in a 4-0.
Can't even be confident and happy with what we got. We got to go for the 4-0. I feel bad for Chalky because this is 2 live streams for Rise of Shadows.
I feel good for Chalky because he built the decks and we had some pretty good experiences. Yeah. We saw what all the archetypes did. I thought the cards played pretty well together. We got to show off a bunch of really cool stuff. So I bet he's happy back at his desk.
And I know last time Chalky was helping us out, we had the unfortunate bug. We squashed all those this time. Rocking and rolling, but I know he was also trying to do that as well last time. So we'll give him some credit there. We'll give him some credit there.
Keaton.
But yeah, so again, 28 brand new cards. You all saw them. Super exciting. We're rocking and rolling. Brian, thank you so much for joining us again. Did you have any final parting words? Anything you wanted to plug?
Well, I'm just looking forward to playing these cards, and I know that we're going to be doing that from here tomorrow. Some of us are doing the theory crafting live stream.
Right.
It's going to be happening tomorrow.
Yes.
And you can probably speak more to that than I can, right?
Yes. So theory crafting live streams, we promoted it yesterday. So essential goal of that is we have 6 people coming out. We've got Crip. Obviously, Brian in his sweet coat. We were talking about this before. Was it resin coated?
Yeah, it's a resin coated hoodie.
Anyways, I'm completely off topic. So
Evropa, chápu. To nezajímá Evropa.
Trump, Alistraza, Nicolena, and then who? I'm forgetting one person. Who's the 6th person? Toast, disguised Toast. You can't miss him. The memer extraordinaire.
He's gonna be so upset.
To je takový ignor prostě.
He's gonna meme on me tomorrow.
5 important people and then disguised Toast.
And then who was the last one? Oh yeah. He's probably locked away in jail somewhere anyways. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, so they're going to be able to play Rise of Shadows in its entirety. They're going to be theory crafting decks, showcasing what they think will be top of the meta. And then we'll have folks like Dean and a couple other devs to join them on stream to talk through what's going on. And then we'll even see some matches, so it'll be pretty cool.
I think I'm going to be theory crafting how many times I can cast Stormbringer off of Hagatha. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Right? Seems like something that you definitely want to do. But yeah, I'll be around tomorrow on the theory crafting live stream. I'm mostly just looking forward to the whole Hearthstone team. Where you work really hard in an expansion, and then you know, working on the next one, working on like whatever features next, and then when the expansion comes out, it's like we get to kind of reflect on like all the real cool stuff that came together, like all the art and the sounds and the effects and the designs and like all the stuff that comes together. And then when it goes live, we're all just really excited for you guys to play. So all the decks that happen, we'll be playing right there on live with everybody else. So. I'm just excited for the expansion to come out.
Right. And in particular, because this is an expansion that involves the set rotation. This is the Year of the Dragon now, right?
Yeah.
So it totally upends everything that people have come to know about Hearthstone in the past year or so. It's no more, Rexars and Janas in the long game. It's like, okay, am I going to win
Gilberto tady porovnává to, že nebudou tak dlouhý hry, konečně díky DKčku.
Crazy Stormbringer.
Hra bude víc dynamická, no.
Right.
To me, every set release for Hearthstone is amazing, but the rotations are the coolest because it really makes you have to sort of relearn what you've learned and so it sort of creates this totally open-ended world of possibilities.
On that note, it's actually like it's a good time to come back because I think when you're like maybe when your last expansion and you haven't been around for a while, there's 2 expansions previous and you haven't really been interacting with them and some of the decks are pretty similar, so you kind of feel like you're behind a little bit. Or when you come back on the rotation sets, everyone kind of starts in the same playing field in terms of like understanding what's going on in the meta and what decks people are playing. Like everyone's kind of building from scratch just like you. So if you haven't been around Hearthstone for a while and you come back, like this is one of the best times to come back to the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that last live stream too.
Teďko je dobrý nápad se vrátit zpátky do hry.
To join in, especially with those Death Knights phasing out, Baku and Gan, and a ton of other cards.
So it's a whole new Hearthstone world.
Yeah, the meta is completely fresh. So we're going to see what's going on. But again, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Rise of Shadows drops April 9th. Again, we have pre-release weekend starting this weekend, April 5th. So find a location nearest you, or you can host your own at home, like Brian Kibler has done in the past. So super sweet. If you have not followed our Twitch channel or hit that subscribe button on our YouTube page, please do. We just want to keep you up to date on all the latest and greatest things at Hearthstone. And finally, those cool pre-order bundles, this is the last chance to get those before the expansion drops. But again, Brian, thank you so much for joining us. It's been awesome having you. As always, you're a veteran. You've done this 1,000 times. Dean, you as well. Appreciate it. You're great.
Kibler was great.
Kibler's great. You're the best. Your sweet jacket, all the things. So
I try. I do my best.
That's cool. Well, anyways, folks at home, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
Tak jo, takže dámy a pánové, toto byl poslední livestream revealu nových karet z Rise of Shadows. S tím, že teda nová expanze vychází 9. srpna. Já se na to teda extrémně těším. A zároveň teda se těším, až potkám zítra Chrise v Paříži a vysvětlím mu, že také existuju. Ale já budu hrát s novýma kartama. Srpna, já jsem fakt řekl srpna? Dubna, jsem si spletl pár měsíců, omlouvám se. A 9. dubna, s tím, že já budu hrát s novýma kartama už 5. takže se můžete těšit na tomhle streamu, že si otestujeme nové karty v reálu a v akci. A bude to fakt super, jo.